expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at talkrealsolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of talkrealsolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not talkrealsolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as is basis.
All right, all right. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host tonight, Tyrone Thompson. I want to thank you for tuning in. Today is December the 26th, 2024, and I would, if you want to join the conversation or listen to the show, you can listen live on YouTube, or you can dial into the number at 1717-908-1834, and I will open your mic and let you join the conversation. And we do like we do all the time. We'll take our time and have thoughtful conversations and share the microphone and just be kind to one another. And however, we do with, I'm lying about how we treat each other. But if you want to join the conversation, just call the number and I'll get you in here and you can have a conversation about whatever topic you want to have a topic about. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, uh, Happy Holidays, whatever you're celebrating, however you're celebrating it. Wish you best wishes during this holiday season. We're rounding up on the end of the year, and what a year it has been. It's been a crazy it's been a crazy year. Actually, it's been a crazy decade. Um, Let me see if I can hear myself. I don't want to go. Yeah, I don't want to go too far without being able to hear myself. Yeah, it's been a crazy decade. There's a lot of stuff been going on through the year, um, and the time is just moving on. It's just that I feel some type of way after this political season. I don't know what this means for the United States of America. I don't. It's just is a different country than I'm used to. But you roll with the punches. You have to do what you have to do, and you stick in there. You make the best out of it. But I just hate that it seems like the country is rolling backwards, becoming more ignorant, more dumb. Uh, but there's nothing you can do about it. Only thing you can do about it is live and let live, and don't fall for the BS. And unfortunately, a lot of people, I guess you could have seen this coming. A lot of people that you thought were allies and on your side of the conversations, or that they kind of showing sympathy to the winners, you know. And it's one of these things to where it explains a lot on how humanity and societies form, because even though the winners are wrong and disgusting and immoral and just hateful and evil, they still won. And people will just submit to their victory because of the win. And to me, that tells me a lot about how history and societies formed. Because even though the victor is the victor, that doesn't mean the victor is right. And that's how people in history end up making some crazy decisions that I could never understand before. With watching this shit right here, I'm watching people just flip flop, and all of a sudden they loving Trump and they loving Republicans, and all of this kind of crap. I'm like, what the hell is going on? This is just silly. You know, I can tell you now that if you flip flop, there's something wrong with you. Um, the Republican Party in the United States, and I will state it clearly, are racist. They don't like black people, people of color. The Republican Party hates America. They hate what the Constitution stands for. They hate the rule of law. The Republican Party are the KKK. I keep saying that. So for people to flip and start supporting the Republican Party is just beyond me. What comes to mind is people like Morning Joe, and there's a social media site on YouTube called the Young Turks. Um, and there's others that now are showing sympathy for these racists. That it just tells you that whenever somebody wins, what their motives are. It's not about the benefit of all people, specifically Black Americans. It's about what fits their interests. But anyway, that's another not another, but it is something I noticed about this political season. And I don't know what the hell happened, guys. Listen, y'all know how I am about COVID-19. Y'all know I am a person who was telling people to get vaccinated, who uh, called people like ABC crazy and telling them to get their shots and all this kind of stuff. But I fucked around somehow or another, and I came down with COVID last week. That's what happened to me last week. I've been taking my shots. I don't know how many shots I done took. I've been taking COVID shots ever since the shit started, right? And this year, I went to the VA and took my flu shot, but they didn't have the Pfizer Pfizer shot. So I didn't want to take the Moderna because I heard that you don't supposed to mix and match them. So I was like, shit, I'll come back later at a later date and get the Pfizer whenever y'all have it. And I don't know what happened, but I started feeling terrible. My throat started itching, and I was just feeling awful. And it was at first it was like, okay, well I'll wait until whatever this is passes by. And then my throat just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And then it felt like I don't know, it felt like my damn throat was gonna close up. So I went to the ER. I won't dying or nothing, but I just drove myself over to the ER, and I was like, hey, they something ain't right. And then they did a strep throat test. They did a test for flu. They test for a couple of things, and then they did the COVID test, and then it came back with COVID, and I was like, what the fuck? And I said, shit, that's the first time I got COVID since this shit started. And they prescribed me some antiviral medicines at the hospital, and I came home and I took that stuff and just went through COVID. But I ain't gonna never skip my damn shots again. I can tell you that, because I do not want that shit. I don't wish that shit on my worst enemy. And you feel like you got a cold, but you know there's something else going on with you that don't feel right. So that's the first time I ever had COVID, and I hope it's the last. I'm telling you guys to get vaccinated, take your shots. Damn what all these other people saying. Take care of yourself. Um, and like I said, I ain't got my shot yet because I guess it lasted about, I don't know how long it lasted, but I tested positive like 3 days. Not, but I tested negative like 3 days ago. So it's out of my system now, and it just sucked. I don't know if you guys ever had that shit. I don't want you to get that shit. Don't even take no damn chances. It sucks. I was down on my butt for a couple of days. Um, Stuffy head, body ache. My sinuses was all jacked up, and it just sucked. So if somebody asks if I ever had COVID now, I can say yeah, I got COVID. But fuck COVID. Take your damn shots. Go get your damn shots. Get vaccinated. Because like I said, every year or every how often they was giving those shots out, I was standing in line getting my damn vaccine. And I don't know. I know the vaccine not supposed to prevent COVID. That's not what it's designed for. It's supposed to have you make you have like a lesser effect on you or whatever. But I didn't take this year's shot, and I fucked around and got COVID, which sucked. But anyway, that's my little story on why I wasn't here last week. But I'm better now. Um, there's a lot of stuff going on social media. What I have noticed, well, we'll get into the politics, but there's just stuff going on with Fat Joe. There's a there's a lot of people talking about Fat Joe and his interview with um with some radio host, right? And Fat Joe is a rapper. He's a Puerto Rican rapper from New York, and he was raised up in New York, and the hip hop community embraced him, and he made probably millions of dollars off of off of you know rap music. That's what he did, you know. And I can't hate that he's a artist making money out there doing his thing, providing music to the world, and providing music to the world and doing his thing, singing and dancing or whatever the hell it is, right? So so that part is all right with me. Go sing your songs, go do your dance, do what you do. I think it's all cooning though. That's just my that's my problem with entertainers. A lot of entertainers, they down the black community in their art, and they got bad messaging and all this kind of stuff. And he's no different from the rest of them. But I still listen to the music. I can't deny that. Um, but he did this interview, and if I seem distracted, that's why I'm trying to look for this little thing that Fat Joe
All the
said.
legends I know, when I go.
But I can't find it. You see, you can't find shit when you want to. But he did this interview where he attacked um black Americans by way of the FBA, and that's the Foundational Black Americans group that Tariq Nasheed I guess leads. I don't do no FBA. I don't do no fucking ADOS. I don't do none of that dumb shit. That's just not me. I'm not gonna join your group or organization. I know who the fuck I am. I don't need to join a church. and y'all know how I feel about that with all these organizations. Cause to me, when you get in these groups, you get in this cult like, religious like mentality, and all of a sudden, you've got to co-sign with everybody in your little tribe, everybody in your group. I don't do that. I'm not going to join a group. I'll tell you what I am, and if that changes, then I will let you know that my views changed, my philosophy has changed, and this is how I think now. That's just the way I've always been. And he's attacking the FBA. See, everybody. See, let me show you what I'm looking at. Everybody's doing a reaction to Fat Joe, and I'm trying to find the little spot where he said what he said about the FBA. Everybody wants to do a reaction. I wish they wouldn't fucking do a reaction, because it's just gonna. I should have just downloaded it before, so y'all can hear the audio of him talking shit about black people. And I'm not gonna listen to a 2-hour show to hear him. Anyway, if I find it, I'll play it, but I don't see it. So let me try to repeat what I heard him say. And if I get it wrong, you guys can correct me. Let me see.
These rumors were made by radical black racists.
Yeah, I think this is it. So what I'll do is I'll download this video here, and I'll play it so you guys can hear it, and then I'll comment on it. And then but because there's a lot going on with Fat Joe. There's a lot going on with Fat Joe. And it's some of the things that I've been saying about people from different races, and how comfortable they are in the black community. And we made him that way. We accepted it. And we accepted it, and we just allow a lot of shit that we shouldn't allow from different people of different races. And Fat Joe, I guess he considered himself, I don't know, from New York. He's part of the hip hop culture. He can, he's comfortable. He's comfortable sitting where he's sitting. And a lot of people allow it. And it's not, and when I say that, it's our community. Our community is a open community. We embrace a lot of people, even though we have that tough talk and all this kind of stuff, and you got to be this, there's a lot of time where you could just look at us and how we respond to people. We embrace a lot of bullshit, right? Y'all can look at me on this platform here and say that I embrace bullshit when I'm listening to like white racists like ABC, white racists like Sarge. Y'all can say that I'm a I'm embracing a lot of bullshit when I listen to the white boys call in here and say what they say. So we embrace a lot of shit. But let me play this audio, and then we'll listen to Fat Joe say whatever he say, and then I'll respond to it. So here it is.
These rumors were made by radical black racists. Let's just say that. Okay, it's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a black guy that ain't down with them. Right. Right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't black American
Who are these guys?
You want me to say a name? We're going to give them too much clout.
I mean,
the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the fuck these broke niggas is. I'm just keeping it a buck. And their shit is to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this nigga who run them? Like, you know, your leader? Yo, man, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. And so they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York.
Right.
So they telling a whole nother story. This was whoopity doop wop. Yo.
All right, so that was the controversial comment that Fat Joe made, and there's a lot there. It seemed like it's a 30-second sound bite, but there's a lot there that has got a lot of people feeling a certain way. Now, full disclosure, I don't think that people would say a damn thing about what Fat Joe said if he wasn't attacking one of the leaders. Because this man been walking around for years, comfortable in the black community, saying what he say, and nobody said a damn thing, right? You know, so it's one of these things to where all the conditions was right for Fat Joe to get pushback, and the conditions were that he called black people broke, he called black people niggas, he talked about Tariq Nasheed, and you know, all of a sudden you can't have all of that, right? Because he's always been a light skinned white, damn near white Latino. He's always been that, and he's always been involved heavily in the hip hop community. And he's always had his attitude. This ain't nothing new. He ain't stretching to say what he's saying in this interview. So the mentality has completely been there forever, and that's who the hell he's been. But now his comments is getting elevated because he attacked a certain group, and he attacked Tariq Nasheed. He used the N word. All of a sudden, you know, it's not allowed for him to use the N word when I'm almost positive this man been using the N word for as long as he probably been in New York. You know, a lot of Puerto Ricans in New York, you know, they feel comfortable with using that N word. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I don't like black people using it. I use it, but I know growing up in the South and all of this kind of stuff, how culturally um I came to using that word, you know, and my first introduction to that word was a repudiation from the grown-ups in my house about me using the word, telling me not to use it. You see what I'm saying? So, and then I finally started using it when I was, you know, of teenage years and all that kind of stuff, you know. But the point is, I get why our community used the N word, and I know it's engraded, embedded in our history and our culture, and the whole thing about we turning it around and making it positive. That's some bullshit. I don't think that that's the case. Um, but my point is that is something that the black community, African Americans, have been doing in this country, and it belongs to us, right? And I can stand on that and say, okay, yeah, we can use it, but you can't. I'm pretty sure other cultures got things that they embrace, but their their issue is probably not as prevalent as the N word, right? Black people put it in music. Black people joke about it. We insult each other with it, and we just use it like it's a part of our culture. It is a part of our culture. I'll go ahead and say that. And I don't think that that should be something that everyone is allowed to get away with saying. And a lot of this society allows understands that. You you can see that's why we use the terminology N word, instead of saying uh nigga. A whole bunch of people say, well, he used the N word, the N word, the N word. And that's out of knowing you just can't say that anytime you want to. You see what I'm saying? And that's fine with me. I'm okay with the way society has evolved and using uh or referring to the N word the way it has. So I'm okay with it. So my point is, as an African American, I don't accept anybody outside of being African American using that word. I don't accept it. I don't. I I don't. I just don't. I don't accept it. And whenever I hear us using it, it's like this subconscious thought in my head, even though it might be a joking or in passing or in music. It's just me only. It's this subconscious thought in my head, knowing that that word is related back to our trauma, right? So, and other people probably don't look at it like this, but every time I hear it, it's just something real quick that goes in my head. It's okay. He said it. He's black. I know where that come from, and it is the automatic connection with me mentally, knowing why people use that word. Even on this phone, when we're going nigga this, nigga that, nigga this, right? It in my head, I know where that's coming from, right? And we're the only one on this planet historically that has experienced that trauma in this country in that manner. There is no one else that can stake claim in the experiences that we are going through and our ancestors went through. So I'm explaining this because this is my way, and it's Tyrone's way. It ain't got to be nobody else's way. It's Tyrone's way of validating that word, because it ain't just as simple for some people um to say either say it or you don't. Either it's right or it's wrong. It's not that damn simple. And as complicated as I'm making this explanation about my acceptance of the N word, it could be either less complicated for the next African American or more complicated for the next African American. But the fact is, it's their experience. This is my way of dealing with it. And I can own this because I'm able to articulate the way that I see the N word. That doesn't mean that the next black person will see the N word the way I see it. And we get caught up in that a lot, to where we want to be twins. We want to experience the same thing, and you ain't experiencing it that way, and this ain't true. That is not true. We're all individuals. We're all people that experience this life differently, and you can't tell me how to walk in my goddamn shoes. So, like I said, with the history of America and me knowing what our ancestors went through, me knowing the origins of that word in our community, in our society, and me knowing that, people took that word and started using it a while back, and we started calling each other that, I'll accept that because it's a part of our trauma. Even when I hear it in the songs, I know it's a part of our trauma. And you cannot remove that trauma from our DNA. If you want to look at it medically, you could say it's a part of our sickness. Okay? And I know a lot of people ain't going to accept that. But the trauma that African Americans went through in this damn country, like I said, no one else has been through that. There is no other group of people that can say that they went through what African Americans went through. and still experiencing today. So, whenever you look at Fat Joe and a group of black people on the internet decided to form their own little group, right? The Foundational Black Americans. ADOS formed their own little group. You remember there was other groups formed. You remember Dr. York formed their own little group. Brother Polite formed their own little group, right? Sarah Sutanseti and Sonetta and they formed their own little groups. We always form these little groups, right? And inside of those little groups, they have their own little beliefs and they follow certain rules. You know, what people don't understand is that even though it's 2024, Black Americans are still trying to find out who the fuck we are. Our feet has not landed, you know, and the reason that we haven't landed is because this culture, this American society will not allow us to get planted anywhere and start to build. Historically, that's true. Every time someone starts to build in the black community, someone starts to get a community together that's worth anything, and it starts grabbing hold, white America, the federal government destroys it, right? And I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to equate these social media groups and all of this kind of stuff with the historical context of like Rosewood and all of that kind of stuff. I'm not trying to do that, but I'm just trying to say historically, whenever a group gets formed in the black community, someone somehow targets that group and they try to tear it down. That was true with like I said, Black Wall Street. There was Wilmington, North Carolina. There was the Black Panther Party, uh, civil rights movement. All of these things, when people start forming up in the black community, there's always someone at some point in time. You can even use Marcus Garvey, how they infiltrated that group, right? So at some point in time, you always tear it down. So what am I saying about FBA? Leave those folks alone. I don't agree with them, right? I don't agree with them. I don't agree with the ADOS shit. I don't agree with a lot of groups that form, but leave those folks alone. And if they're trying to form something that is going to benefit them, now I'll criticize them. I'll be as I have criticized them because I think what I think about them, which I don't think there should be any division when it comes to uh, African people on this planet. But at the same time, there's something to be said specifically about us being African American descendants of slavery. I've said numerous of times that we are the newest group on the planet. We are the newest tribe on the face of this earth, uprooted from Africa and forced to come to this land and forced to endure horrific times in this country and still not given a fair shake. And even when our ancestors tried to fight for fairness and equality in this country, they was brutally murdered, lynched, and like I said, still to this day, we still not given a fair shake. We've got denied opportunities. Um, even our names, what we call our children, what we take pride in doing when we having a baby, get criticized by society, and we get denied opportunity before having a black name. Uh, they had to come up with literally a law for our hair, the Crown Act. What the fuck was that about? You can't wear your hair the way it comes out of your head and not get criticized in this country. There's a lot of things that black people are going through today that is reminiscent of when we first got on this damn country, right? And social media kind of puts a blinder up because social media makes you think that everything is a lot better. Social media makes you think that those times are in the past and they're long ago. Social media gives this false perception that we have moved forward. But all you have to do is look at the numerous murders and genocide behavior from police officers and government officials in this damn country. Look at the prison industrial complex and how many black people are locked up. Look at our children being denied education in this country, and we paying for public schools through our taxes. Look at the denial of resources. Look at who's on Wall Street. Look at who owned property in this motherfucking country. And you can see that we still in the same status that we've always been in. So whenever it comes to Fat Joe and him being comfortable with calling black people in this country broke niggas, I got a problem with it. I got a problem with watching a Puerto Rican that most likely voted for goddamn Trump. Now I ain't gonna say that because I seen him out there campaigning for Kamala Harris, him specifically. But we know how the Hispanic voted in this election. Why ain't he talking to his goddamn people about voting against his community's interests? Right? Now I don't know what FBA did to him, for him to go on this little tirade. The only thing I can tell from the audio is that somehow or another FBA has rejected him. Right? That's what it sounded like in that audio, that he was rejected by FBA. I think it's, let me play the first part of this audio.
These rumors were made by radical black racists. Let's just say that. Okay, it's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a black guy that ain't down with them. Right. Right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't black American. Who are
Yeah, it sounds like there's some type of stuff going on to where he see the actions of the foundational black Americans and he disagree with their stance about only accepting black Americans, and he's going off on their stance. Now, like I said, I do not agree with FBA. I don't follow those guys. I don't do the ADOS thing. I just don't. But my point is, why the fuck are you going to use all your influence and power to target that black group, call them a bunch of broke niggas, when you done leached off of the damn black, the same people that you calling broke niggas bought your fucking records, made you rich, invited you into the fucking culture. allowed you to use the N-word, accepted you. And when you get pissed with a group of them, you just going off on the people that made you successful. Puerto Ricans didn't make you fucking rich. I can guarantee you that. I ain't got nothing against Puerto Rican people. But let's call a spade a spade. You're Puerto Rican. You have an opportunity as a Puerto Rican to be accepted by your white daddy. You see it all the goddamn time. There is never a chance for anybody that's African American that looks like me to ever have the opportunity to be accepted in white America. So what I'm saying is he's got options. We got to walk in these shoes regardless. Right? We got to walk in these shoes regardless. They get subsidies in Puerto Rico from the United States government because they're American territory. Specifically for fucking Puerto Rico. Black people receives not a motherfucking thing from this goddamn country. The only thing that we get told is to work harder, lift yourself up. You missed your opportunity. Do right. Follow the fucking rules. That's it. That's it. But when you listening to Fat Joe talk about dumb, broke niggas, he ain't no different than the white man, than Donald Trump. And like I said, I don't think that Puerto Ricans should be allowed to use the N-word, but that's just my opinion. At some point in time, somewhere along the road, somebody allowed Puerto Ricans to start saying the N-word, and this motherfucker here got comfortable with it. And I hope that people stop buying his fucking records. Not like I said, he done made some bangers, and I've listened to him, you know. But I hope people start buying his record. I hope if we could ever get on the same sheet of music as African Americans, just boycott this motherfucker here, and finally show people that you're gonna have to pay a price for disrespecting Black Americans. Finally get on fucking cue and show people that they're gonna have to pay a price. Because fuck Fat Joe. Who the fuck is he? You know, I don't do that celebrity shit. You know, but all of a sudden I see this motherfucker going viral, showing all up in my timeline. Motherfuckers doing reactions to Fat Joe. I'm like, what the hell is Fat Joe talking about? And then I hear that shit. I be like, oh, this white man is literally using the N-word and calling black people broke because they don't want to accept this fat white ass. And like I said, let FBA do what the hell they do. You got and politically, y'all know that I do not agree with their stance when it comes to politics. I think they're fucking up. Because I just a little bit, but because that's a whole nother fucking situation that they are misguided on. They're telling people not to participate in the system. They're telling people not to try to take control of the goddamn Democratic Party, and that's bullshit. They should participate. They should do just like the goddamn Tea Party did. Take over the motherfucking Democrat Party. Make it motherfucking Black Americans. But that's just my opinion. Clearly, they want to argue against the Democrats and all this kind of bullshit instead of trying to overtake the Democrat Party. That's where the fucking battle is. When you in the fight to conquer, that's why you battle. You battle to win. You don't battle to throw up your fucking hands and say, "Ooh, I'm gonna vote down ballot." And all. No, 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 no. You need to go build up your goddamn forces. You need to go recruit some motherfuckers. You need to get in there and you need to fucking fight and you need to take that motherfucker over. That's what you need to do. But getting back to this motherfucker, like I said, I don't agree with their political stance. ADOS is the same way. They don't want to participate in politics. They full of shit. They need to be trying to take over the goddamn Democrat Party. But that's just my opinion. And then it's an uphill climb. It's an uphill climb to try to take over the politics. Cause you dealing face on with the white man when you as an African American trying to overtake politics. But I say it can be done because our ancestors came up with their own political party, the Black Panther Party. And it's not like it's not doable. It's too many motherfuckers give up, you know. And then they because of money and finances and them receiving donations, they stop when it comes right before politics. They stop and they start receiving their little paychecks. And then now that they receiving their little paychecks and donations, they don't give a shit about politics. They'll tell you that they care about politics. They'll demean the political process all while they getting paid, right? Boyce Watkins, Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson. They'll stop right there. They grab their group of people that could have a political impact. And long as that group of people is paying them, they don't go no further. And that's why I disagree with those people, man. Because you're inside of this system, and then they're going to fold their heads and fold their arms and say, "Oh, it's not going to work. Give me a donation." You know, and that's just bullshit. But anyway, Fat Joe, I think that you owe the black community an apology. I think that the black community need to hold you accountable and tell you to stop saying nigga all the goddamn time. I don't think that you should be allowed to. I don't give a fuck who you are, how famous you are. Like I said, there's only one group of people that has experienced our plight in this country, and it's not Puerto Ricans. Now, if you've got your own trauma in your community that you're dealing with, then you deal with that. But you don't see black people going over, invading your space, insulting you in a demeaning manner, and doing what you just did. That just doesn't happen. But I can almost guarantee you that there's going to be a lot of people to forgive Fat Joe because that's just who the fuck we are. I love my people. I really do. And I know that that is going to be a thing. He'll be right back calling people niggas and making music and all this kind of bullshit. Um, Getting invited on black people shows and all this shit or whatever, because he's famous. For some reason, we're fascinated with people who are celebrities, and you know, and he might make music that I might listen to, but I'll tell you to boycott this motherfucker for sitting on the damn internet saying this bullshit. Let me see. I'm gonna play it one more time so I can hear it.
Black racist. Let's just say that.
Okay, so that first thing that he said, I missed that. He called us black race, or called them or us or black races. We've had conversation on this show about who can and can't be racist, right? There's difference of opinion about who can and can't be racist. Some people say that black people can't be racist, and clearly there are some people that say that black people can be racist. And I'll explain to you my view, and then maybe you can. So here's the definition. It says characterized by showing prejudice, discrimination, antagonism against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. That last part, where you're being racist towards the minority or marginalized, is the reason I hold my belief about black people can't be racist. Now you don't, like I said, you don't have to agree with me. And then the that's the adjective, and the noun is a person who is prejudiced against antagonistic forward people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial group or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. Once again, the definition at the end said you have to display this behavior towards a minority or marginalized group. And we are the minority and marginalized group in this country. Now, like I said, you can argue whatever with me on the definition, but I'm just reading what I read here, and that's my view. You don't have to agree with me. So when Fat Joe called black people racist, I disagree with that. But that is white supremacy trying to use reverse racism to uh, describe black people in the same way that we describe them. That's what that is. When I hear people call black people racist, to me that's just like they trying to flip the script and call black people racist. Now, like I said, there's a lot of people that's going to disagree with me, and I get it. That, and you can have your opinion, and I got mine. But Fat Joe should not call black people racist. As much racist experience that black people went through in this damn country, the first words out of his mouth is they're black racist. And let me see what else he said.
Okay, it's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, don't want to hear. They don't want to hear a black guy that ain't down with them. Right. Right. So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't black American. Who are these guys? You want me to say a name? We're gonna give them too much clout. I mean, the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the fuck these broke niggas is. I'm just keeping it a buck, and their shit is to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this nigga who run them, like your leader. Yo, man, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. And so they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York, right? So they telling a whole nother story. This was whoopity doop wop. Yo.
Yeah, so all of that vitriol and all that kind of bullshit that he was just spewing. Like I said, he was probably raised up in a neighborhood around a lot of black people that made him comfortable with being able to call black people niggas, call them black broke niggas, because it seemed like that's an insult that we would throw at each other. But it's coming from a Puerto Rican white man. That's what Fat Joe is. And because of our culture and how we embrace people, somebody along the way allowed this man to speak like this. When he should have been getting checked the entire time. Probably because of his popularity and fame, they just let it go. You know, and now that other people are hearing it in the black community, they're antennas are standing up and saying, "Hey, slow your damn roll. Slow your damn roll. You just shouldn't be free to speak like that toward black people. I don't give a fuck who you are. He should not be free to just say that. You know, calling them broke niggas and all this kind of shit. No, 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 no. That's not right. That I disagree. Uh, with the way he came. He can hate FBA. He can hate them. But yeah. So like I said, I foundational Black Americans, ADOS, Umar, all of these Sonetta, y'all can have your goddamn groups. But you know, people outside of the damn community shouldn't be doing what Fat Joe uh just did. So now what I'll do is I'll shut up. I give y'all my opinion on that, and I'll open these lines. I got unknown caller. Who is this?
What's going on?
You gonna let me ramble like them rambling ranters you get on this show?
Well, hold on for a
You gonna
second.
let me ramble for a little bit?
Well, hold on for a second. Hold on for a
No,
second.
that's what I want to know. Cause you got a real bad habit of getting on me with that mute button.
Okay, well, just hold
I
on,
just want to know before I even get started.
sir. Do you see what you're doing now? This is why we can't have a
I know
conversation.
what I'm doing now. You know damn well why I'm doing it.
Okay, so hold on. Let me introduce Elisa. Your line is
By
open.
the
How
way,
you doing?
Merry post Christmas and a happy pending New Year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, man. Happy holidays and all this stuff. What's happening, Miss Elisa? Uh-oh. Are you there? We can't hear you if you're talking.
Nah, I think you opened my line.
Oh, I'm on mute. Can
Okay,
you
there
hear
you
me
go.
now?
There you go. Hey, yeah, I can hear you now.
How do
What's
I?
that? What's
Okay,
happening?
nothing much. I got new earphones. Do I sound okay?
Oh yeah, loud and clear.
Not earphones, earbuds. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays, special. Happy holidays to you, Sarge, because you started it all. Tyrone, you contacted me last week and said you had something to do, so you had the COVID.
I had the COVID, Miss Elisa, the first time I ever had it.
Did it do you? It didn't do you too bad, did it?
Well, it sucked. I can tell you that. It sucked. And it was the first time I didn't take my vaccine and I
Mhm.
messed around and got it. So I'm gonna continue to take my vaccines.
How long did it take you to get over it?
I don't know. I think it was a little over 7 or 8 days, something like that.
Yeah, sound about right. Why couldn't you tell me you had COVID? Here you go. I saw your. Oh, something came up.
Yeah,
So that's what
I was
came up.
I
The
yeah,
COVID
I was
came
down.
up.
I was down.
And I see here listening. Tyrone had the COVID. He couldn't even say who I'ma tell. Who I'ma tell, Tyrone? Anyway, I'm glad you got over it. You feel it. Are you not weak? Did you lose weight or anything like that?
No, I didn't lose no weight or anything like that. They gave me this antiviral medicine in the hospital that they're giving out now. So I took a
Uh
course of
huh.
that, and it seemed like it got it out of me.
Well, I'm glad you're doing okay. I was gonna blow off this particular booster. I wasn't gonna bother about getting it. And my doctor was like, "No, just go. It's just a booster. Go." And then a couple of people I knew who caught it, and it did them, not the greatest. And then hearing you, I think I'm gonna go get my booster next week. I'm gonna just go do a walk in
Hmm.
and get it because I don't, I think I had that thing very early on,
Hmm.
but I don't want that. And I was telling my mom, I was like, because my brother said he was going to get his, and his girls, anyway. Um, and so I was telling her, go and get your, just go, because we were gonna blow it off this time. But she said, no, I'm gonna go ahead and get it and get that over with. Just get the, it hasn't killed us yet.
Yeah,
And it hasn't.
I wish I would have got it sooner because, like I said, they didn't have the Pfizer. They just had the Moderna, and
They
I was
just had the
told
Moderna.
not to switch it up. So
Yeah,
I was gonna wait and go back later, but
because
I guess I waited too late.
that's all I've got was the Pfizer, And I know the last booster I got, they didn't have it. So I went on ahead and took the Moderna. It didn't kill me because
Okay.
they said that they don't like to switch it. They don't like to, before, like when you're getting it on a schedule, they won't give you, switch it up like that. But if you've gone a certain amount, a length of time and the other one is just kind of worn out,
Yeah.
they will go ahead. So I got the Moderna last time. I was actually unaware of that until I checked my card and I was like, sure enough, they sure did. I don't know what I was thinking because I scheduled for Pfizer, but then that must be all they had was Moderna. So
Mm.
anyway, nonetheless, I'm going to get it. I'm going to go ahead and do a walk in and to get it next week. We still here, Tyrone. It didn't kill us. We didn't grow an extra foot. It hasn't done any of that. So I'm gonna go ahead on and get it again because I was gonna blow it off, but I don't think so. Not this time. But that show, really quick, so some other people can talk. But I just wanted to find out how you were doing. But Fat Joe, he's over there beefing with Tariq Nasheed. Now that's what this is about,
Mhm.
and this is where I think he messed up. He should have just called. He said FBA. And we all know who outfit that is. That's Tariq Nasheed's outfit. He should have just called them out by name and not make it sound like broke Negroes. You see what I'm saying? But most people knew who he was talking about. He was talking about Tariq Nasheed and them and how he came off was a bit, but he had been over there beefing with who's the whole thing with who started hip hop and
Yeah, that.
Tariq Nasheed because yeah, that's what they got going on. And they've been kind of going back and forth with that for a minute now. Because he's trying to, Tariq Nasheed is trying to lessen the New York, Puerto Ricans and stuff, their contribution to hip hop. And Big Joe, Fat Joe, it's like, well, no, and some of that stuff that Tariq is saying about the beginning of hip hop and stuff, some of that thing, because he likes to talk about Grandmaster Flash and this and that, but he likes to weaken the contribution of others. And a lot of them that was with some of them first groups, some of them, somebody what is it? Somebody is Trinidadian, somebody else is from someplace here.
Mhm.
And so, but I'm not going to get into that argument. But yeah, hip hop is black people's thing, but you had contributions.
Oh yeah.
And the music as a whole, it wasn't just a black American thing. It has different influences from the continent, from the Caribbean, and even from the Native American and different things. The influence of the music that was used. So, I mean, to just try to lessen, because music is music, and to their contribution to it, and with the hip hop dancing, the break dancing and stuff, the Puerto Ricans was very, very big into that. So, but that's their argument. I'm not going to get into that. But Fat Joe should have just called them out. Now, I don't fool with FBA, never have, because I always thought that was a grip. I saw how that started. They had the ADOS, and I was following that because I'm all about black people, the Black American and reparations. And basically, what ADOS, they started that off. It was for black people because other places like the Caribbean, they have their reparations things against some of the countries over in Europe. You have this, you that, and reparations here in the United States, they were saying is for ADOS, uh, African descendants of slavery.
Mhm.
And then Tariq started calling Yvette and them, doing their phone conversations. And all of a sudden, he started using FBA. And I saw it right as it was happening. And I knew what he was going to do, start up his own grip. And then the next thing you know, they all split off. And then arguing and stuff started because he saw what they were doing, so he wanted to get in on the ground floor. In a sense, it was a hustle, a hijacking, and then the next thing you know, there was the FBA. And the reason why I don't agree with all of them, because I know we have our this and that with our continental African brothers and sisters and stuff, and in the Caribbean, we have our stuff in the diaspora. We cannot deny that. things they say, things look, we have that, but it just seems like they're too xenophobic for me, and I was never fooled with them as being too xenophobic. And Tariq Nasheed is somebody I do not like. And then I remember sometime way back, and this is what I don't understand why women who would follow that, his whole reparations movement, when I saw how he did that, he hijacked, and it was a rift off of ADOS. But nonetheless, I've heard recordings that people found of him when he was talking about reparations, and he was talking about it should be given to the men and not the women. The men. Let the men build the community. The men should be. And he said all of this stuff as if he didn't say these things before he even thought of an FBA, before an ADOS was even thought of. These were the things he was saying. And anybody is a fool, especially a woman who is following that. Y'all have to go back to hear what this man was talking. It was as if the things he was saying, that women, that we are not responsible enough to handle that type of responsibility, and that type of, give it to the men, let the men do it. Now, I could sit here and say a whole lot of things about that, and people would be upset with me if I did, so I'm just going to leave that off. But these were the things he was saying, that it should be given to the men, and the men only. And I remember some people, and when I heard those recordings from some years back with him saying that, well, what if you live in a household and the woman is head of household? Now, that's not play games. We have to tell the truth about our community. Our community, we can say the majority. We can say that easily, and with the stats to back it up. Women are the majority head of households. So what are you talking about? So that's why I don't fool with them, because they dusty. The whole FBA mess is dusty to me. But Fat Joe came off the wrong way. I always wondered, where did he get the pass to say, ninja. I hate that word, but I've called people that on here. But ninjas. But he was given the pass. He was given the okay to do it by who, Tyrone? By black men in the industry. So we have to answer that. We have to be. He was given the okay, I guess. But I just think that he went. You know how he was talking. Just call them out. Whomever you're upset with, call them out. Y'all continue to fight it out, beef it out about this whole hip hop thing, but don't kind of just like grapple up everybody in that. I know who you talking about. I know, because he was talking about their leader with the lip gloss and all of that. I know who you're speaking of. Call him out, call certain people out, and y'all handle that, whatever that hip hop thing is, because basically the white man is getting the money from it. So if y'all gonna talk about who create, the white man the one getting all the money from that anyway, the Jewish man. So, I mean, what are you doing over here? But that's xenophobia that's coming from FBA. Don't fool with that. Don't fool with that. I cannot fool with that. And yes, they were over there pump it up with Trump. And I heard them, because them people was getting paid. But are you hearing anything about reparations and all this? Maybe you are, maybe you're not. But what were you guys doing? What were you doing? That whole thing over there is a mess. If they were paid, and they, in my opinion, sold out there, and ADOS, they kind of sort of, Yvette Carnell, they kind of sort of got back on that mess too. Like they was sick when they was doing that. I watched a little piece when the election was going on that night. They was cheering it on and had Kamala lose, and if we needed this, that we need. Donald Trump ain't getting y'all goddamn thing. Are you Negroes insane? Y'all do not see what they're trying to do. I know Sarge is going to have a different opinion, but I'll fool with them FBA fools over there. And Tyrone, I'm glad you overcame this COVID. Get your shots if we're going to be healthy coming into the new year. That's all I got.
All right. So who want to go first, Sarge or Jay?
I'll make it short because I know he got a lot to say. I'll make it short so he could go on.
Okay.
I agree pretty much with what Alicia said. Everything. I think that. Well, I don't even think. I know that that conversation spurs from the origins of who started hip hop, which was a conversation we had a couple of months here. That's being rehashed for whatever reason. And like you said, I think just to shorten it and to the main point and target is while they're going back and forth arguing, guess what? White man is getting that money off of the industry. So you could argue who started this, who started that. Is who owns it, who's benefiting from it now, who's benefiting the most of it now, and then also what are you doing to give back to the community? So as much as you arguing this, that you made money. What are you doing to give back to the community now that you made it? Now that you're on these platforms, what are you doing with these platforms? Are you wasting time arguing arguments that doesn't end up bringing any type of monetization to bring back to the community? It doesn't benefit in a positive way because I believe these are grown men that are speaking now. We're not talking about teenagers arguing back and forth, rap feuds and not knowing history. So I mean, there's no argument in the history because a lot of the founding fathers and the people that had to do with the origins of hip hop, right, are still here, and they can have that conversation, have a round table to clear that up. But again, all that argument to say who claims ownership? What are you doing with ownership? Are you giving back to the community? Is it benefiting in a positive way versus negative? I'll leave it there.
All right, all
Welcome
right.
back, brother. I'm glad that you came through and through all that. I didn't even know that that's what you was going through. I went through it. It was not easy. I don't know how what to the point that you had it, but the main thing is that you made it. You're here having a conversation. Keep your health right. Try to do as much natural shit as possible, and do what you got to do, man, and keep forward. Good to
All right.
hear you.
Yes,
Appreciate that, man.
yes.
All right, Mr. Sarge. You have a new president, President Musk. We need to be talking about President Musk, Sarge. You there?
Yeah, I'm here, but I mean, I like to address what you've been talking about for the last, I don't know,
Oh, go ahead,
hour.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I mean, can I do that, or am I restricted?
No, you good, man. Go ahead, go ahead and talk.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Once again, I'd like to extend holiday greetings to everybody out there in the listening family and everybody out there in the world, for that matter, because we might not get too many more if the demon rats have their way. But let me just say this about, first of all, the N word and then about the issue of Fat Joe. Now, first of all, I'm speaking as a survivor from the demon rat bastion of Chicago, where growing up, I was a regular receptee of ass whoopings from gangs of white boys called me the N word. And by the way, that N word thing, whenever we got to say N word, you know what it sounds to me like? Little baby, you got to go potty, you got to go pee pee. Hey, I'm a grown up ass man. All y'all are grown up ass man. We know what the damn word is. We don't need to be talking about no damn N word. We can use it in context like adults. Can we do that or what? Never mind. I don't want to get bogged down in that.
Oh, you can use it. You can use it.
I don't want to get bogged down there. I want to make my point where you hit that damn mute button. All right. Again, as a victim of regular beatings from white boys who called me that N word while they were beating my ass, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I was traumatized by it at the time. You're damn right I was. I was a little kid. I was maybe 12, 13, getting my ass beat by people, and I'm polite. I'm behaving myself. I wanted to spend money in their neighborhood, and they just jump on me, beat my ass. I didn't. After a while, I wouldn't even go up in that neighborhood unless I was bringing some of my pals along, so at least I have a little bit of backup. I lost count the number of times I got in the dust up with them white boys in Lithuanian Catholic neighborhoods who were beating my ass. Lithuanian, German, and Italian. That's what it mainly was. Now, let me tell you something. It didn't make me weaker. It didn't keep me traumatized. It said I better learn how to fight if I want to survive in this world. And I learned how to fight. I learned how to fight in many ways. But everything, my fists, to every type of to a bayonet, to a knife, Every kind of fire from a handgun to a 105 millimeter tank cannon, and everything in between. And you know what? It's good for me. What doesn't kill you will make you stronger. And I'm telling you right now, what really irritates the hell out of me is watching all these black people now who's supposed to be tough and strong and grown up whining like they were traumatized like that was back when I was growing up or when other black people were growing up in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, and 50s and before. You ain't gone through nothing like that, and you ain't. Because most white people today, even no matter what they may say to each other privately, they know better than to use that word in public, and for the most part, they do not. The people who use that word more than anybody else are black people and people of color. So let's be real about this. In fact, there's such a surfeit of hate crimes that now we got an industry dedicated to manufacturing hate crimes. And I know it's true because I got the receipts, and I dare you to challenge me on the number of hoax hate crimes out there today. Hell, we just had one woman confess to one of the biggest ones from a jail cell. The lady in the Duke lacrosse thing. And as far as what Fat Joe says, well, let's look at what Fat Joe says. I don't take counsel from Fat Joe. I've heard his name. I don't know who the hell he is, and I definitely ain't familiar with his work. But I'm going to tell you one damn thing. Ain't nothing wrong with that man criticizing the self-appointed Führers of the black community. Now, the only question you should be asking is whether or not his criticism is valid and legitimate, not whether or not he does it. Ain't nobody, especially one who considers himself to be in a leadership position, supposed to be exempt from criticism. I say again, nobody. And so if Joe is criticizing him, let him criticize him. He ought to. He's got a right to weigh in on anything that has to do with public affairs. That goes for every sentient human being on the planet.
It's not the criticism, Sarge. It's what he said and the way he said it. He's a Puerto Rican, and I don't think Puerto Ricans should be authorized to use the N word. I don't know how you feel about that.
Either everybody doesn't use it or anybody can use it. That's the way I feel about it. Again, having been the victim of being beaten when I'm getting called that name. So there ain't too many people who know it better than me. I
So
didn't
you don't.
like it then. I don't even like it now. But like I said, it ought to be one standard for everybody. You don't get to use that word as a cudgel to shut other people up.
Oh yes, you do too. And the reason,
I don't think you should.
Well, like I said, we're the only ones in this country with our history in this country, and we should be able to dictate how we want things done in our community, and nobody else should be able to take charge of that, Sarge. I don't know if you're just ignoring our history or you don't give a fuck.
Sir, you want to challenge me on knowledge of history of the black history, both in the world and the United States? You're going to lose that one.
I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking about it.
The thing is, right now we have one standard for this. Is not Yugoslavia where the government carves out benefits by your ethnic group. This is the United States. Now I know you guys don't like the United States. You particularly don't like its history. But the aspirational notions of this country are that everybody gets treated equally, no matter how imperfectly it may have been realized. And I prefer to go with that rather than kowtowing to the racial ethnic sensitivities of a bunch of radicals.
Well, whenever you're talking about equal treatment in this country, you're talking about laws, right? You're not talking about cultural
laws and customs.
Okay, you're not talking about cultural things. So you can't law. Okay, but what I'm trying to distinguish, there's a difference between what you're saying and I'm saying. And yes, everyone should be treated fairly under the laws of this country. But whenever it comes to our culture, our community, the black society, we should be the leader on what can and cannot be done. Just blanketly saying that people can just do whatever the fuck they want to do in a certain culture is wrong.
When it comes to free speech, yes, you can. I hate to tell you that, but I wouldn't have it any other way because I damn sure ain't going to hold my tongue about things I need to say.
Well, if that's the case, then, right? Let's look at the Native Americans. Let's go and walk all over their burial grounds or disrespect their traditions, right? Or look at the Asian people. Let's disrespect.
You're talking about matters of crime now.
Okay, well, now that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Vandalism is a a crime, no matter what the context.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're trying to.
Well, that's not the same thing, and you know it.
Well, you're trying to wrap it up under everybody should be treated equal, and you're absolutely right when it comes to laws of the land. But whenever it comes to people and their own culture and their history, we should dictate whatever the fuck happened in our community, Sarge.
Look,
That's
I can understand you requesting people to do it. I can understand you say, why don't you be polite and not unduly upset us for no good reason? And I think that's a perfectly good reason to honor people's requests with regard to that. But you want to make it a requirement, almost to the point of, I don't know, canceling people over it when it has nothing to do with their jobs or with their employers' embarrassment or something like that, which I am fully in favor of an employer firing somebody for using inappropriate language of whatever sort. I'm talking about people who are not in that sort of a situation, who are not situated in that manner, simply expressing themselves as they see fit, and it's not a crime. It's not disorderly conduct. It's not a threat. It's not some sort of inducement to fraud or anything else. It is simply their opinion, rightly or wrongly.
and we're not talking.
That is an absolute for me, and no, I'm not backing track on that one iota.
We're not talking about criminal behavior here, right? I tried to distinguish and let you know that it's not about.
If it's not criminal behavior, then it should be a matter of courtesy. And if people are discourteous, well, these days, this country is doing more than I've ever seen in my lifetime to encourage discourtesy of every sort. Only thing is, it's celebrated when the ideological left sees a discourtesy as serving their purposes.
Well, okay, so honestly speaking, and Mama's boy, I got your line open. I'm going to say this right here. I kind of understand where you're coming from because you're used to getting patted on the head and called a nigga by white people. So I understand.
You lost the fucking argument right now, nigga. You just did it.
No, because I'm trying to talk to you.
No. Don't tell me what you don't know what I'm used to. You're speculating like you always do.
Well, I'm trying to talk to you.
Straw man argument like you always do.
No.
There ain't no straw man. You can't knock me over.
Well, no, I'm trying to explain to you black culture and respect, but for some reason it's missing you. So now I came to.
So you're not telling me anything I don't know. I just got a different take on you. You just can't.
Exactly, and that
possible for anyone to have such a thing.
And that different take is what I'm talking about. The reason that you're okay with it is because you're used to people patting you on the head.
Because it's a matter of principle with me. Now, again, principle is another thing you rarely understand. Everything for you is on a sliding scale of relativism.
No, based on what you said in this conversation, sir, is that you're okay with white people calling you nigga. That's what you're telling me.
No, I didn't say I was okay with it. See, this is something. You have a real trouble with words.
Okay, so let me just ask you straight up.
Words are stated. I said, as a matter of look, I will disassociate myself from a lot of people who say funky shit. But goddamn it, if you want to say people ain't got the right to say it, then you and me are gonna have a big disagreement.
So are you okay with white people calling you the N-word then?
No, I wouldn't be okay with them saying that.
Okay then, so we agree. What the hell are you talking about?
It's not a matter of being okay with it.
So yes, it is. That's what this conversation.
You seem to think that everything's supposed to revolve around. I might even punch him in the nose. Then I get locked up, as I should be.
Okay then, so we agree. I don't know what the hell.
The clock is the stop his clock, and then I should be locked up if I do it.
So what you arguing for? We agree.
I argue in court. Well, Your Honor, I was provoked, and I momentarily lost control of my sensibilities. And maybe they'll let me off and not find me guilty. But that's the way everything's supposed to work.
Okay, so we agree then. I mean, you're not okay with.
We may not agree, but I know this much. As a matter of principle, I have one standard for everybody.
Okay, so now you're on the fence.
Because that ain't the United States way.
Now you're on the fence. You can't keep going back and forth.
You ought to go live in Yugoslavia somewhere, which doesn't exist anymore because it broke apart along ethnic lines.
You can't keep changing your mind, man. Either you are or you aren't.
But let me. My mind, sir. You're not listening to me. I'm listening to your arguments and repeating them back to you. You are trying to make me into a straw man.
I am not.
Yes,
my argument was I didn't agree.
Straw man is, but you are the classic example of when somebody does it.
Well, I didn't agree with Fat Joe.
I'm repeating your arguments right back to you because I'm listening to what you say, and I understand words better than most people hear.
Okay, great.
Especially in context.
Okay, but I didn't agree with Fat Joe using the N word. You came on here and said it was okay for him to use the N word, so I just
I didn't say
assumed
it
it.
was okay for him to use it. See, again, you misheard what I said.
You know
I
what?
said
I
it's
ain't finna do
one
this with you. Let
standard,
me.
Fat Joe, you, me, and everybody else. Whatever that standard is determined to be.
And who determined the standard for the N word?
The society, generally speaking, does, but I suppose ultimately, if it's a matter of speech, it has to be in the final analysis up to the individual.
Okay, so the society, the black society, determines it.
Who
Since
is that?
the
Who are they speaking from? Where do I go to get this opinion of the black society?
well,
Look at
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
like what?
Since it's mainly used against our community, we should be able to say when it and when it cannot be used, Sarge.
Yeah, we can say it all we want. We expect everybody else to comply with it then?
They will
Yeah, you
comply,
got a right to
or
say, you got a
we'll
right to
fucking
even
cancel them.
demand it. But you
Okay,
don't have
so
a right to expect that everyone's going to go along with you on it.
well, they don't. That's why we're having this conversation. So what's up, mama's boy? How you doing?
Peace, family. Peace, everybody. Peace, Tyrone. Well, I am down with the cancellation. I would like to be a writer of the cancellation policy for this nigga. So I feel like, despite what people of Sarge's ilk may say, I mean, hell, Sarge probably gonna pat him on the back because, he bought Trump's tennis shoes. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't paying attention to Sarge. You know, he should be canceled out of the black community. So I think that should be the tax or the toll or the expense for talking out of turn when you're using the word nigga, especially when you use the hard R. Both aspects don't belong to y'all motherfuckers no more. And you know what, Sarge? I've said this before, so take a listen. You know, black people have cohesively got intelligence somehow from the east to the west coast, and it's happened time after time after time. And if black people just cohesively reject the word nigga from anybody that ain't a nigga, then everybody will get the picture. And that's the American fucking way. We cancel your ass when you say it, behave like it, or if I even think you've ever said it before in your life, if you ask me. But maybe I'm just too tough on motherfuckers. But Sarge, you too forgiving, but I expect that for a meritorious manumission candidate. Peace, y'all.
Yeah, and the way it is, it may not, and people ain't gonna agree with it. Sarge ain't gonna agree with it. They use that word to insult us, demean us, and do all kinds of things to us, right? So if black people use the word, even though, like I said, I don't agree with it, I understand where it come from. I understand that there's a history there that has got us using this word in our culture, and we're using it for a reason, that has meaning to our group. When other people use it, they're definitely using it to insult us and all this kind of crap and call us name and just do what history says the meaning of the word is. You can just look anywhere online and you can see if anybody used that word, how they use it. But if we're using it in songs and we're using it to pat each other on the back and we're using it to joke around and we're using it, so we're using it differently. Like I said, I don't agree with it, but I understand it. And when you got Sarge up here saying that if one person can use it, everybody can use it, this man is disillusional. There's something wrong with him about
Ever you
his.
see all the black people calling white people niggas? You ought to see these police videos out there. Police say, oh, that white racist bitch ass nigga. You ain't seen that? Yeah, I got all kind of black people are calling white people niggas now.
That's
Okay,
because
so
it's
let
hard
me let me
work.
speak. Let me
We
speak.
can
Yeah, go ahead.
listen. Can I say this real quick,
Go
We
ahead.
got more
Tyrone?
control of
Yeah.
language now. Hey,
Hold on, Sarge. Hold on.
you know what
Hold
is
on, Sarge. Hold on,
anybody
Sarge.
control of language
I know
though?
you a little bit beyond the
Hey, you know
times.
what it means
I
when
know.
people are so full of
Let me speak for
opium?
the generation that's behind you a couple of years. See, what we do with words now is we use them with finesse. So that means if it was like a basketball, we would be like the Harlem Globetrotters with the motherfucker. Not an NBA team. No, we gonna finesse with it. You understand? So we can put that word with anything because we own it now. It's our possession. And a house nigga like you can't even take it away from him. You can't even get all your white folks together and take it from him. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And Tyrone, my history with Sarge on this show goes a little bit long. Okay? And this nigga has used the word on numerous occasions. As a matter of fact, one. Can I finish? Can I finish? Can I finish? Can I finish?
Hold on, let's do one at a
This
time. Let's do one at a time. Sarge, you can go after him.
So I will put this on the table and I dare it to be taken off because I don't think it'd be taken off. Sarge goes down in TRS history for one of the most epic moments using the word on an after-hours show. He screamed the word nigga for 3 minutes straight. And how do I know? Because I was excuse me. I was the person who facilitated him saying it. I was first person account. So he can't lie his way out of it. You know, like I said, Tyrone, I'm glad you confessing, Sarge. Me and Sarge have been in a lot of back and forth. You know what I'm saying? So this right here is just the most hypocritical shit. But I expect it from a porch monkey. I expect that. I expect a house nigga to behave like that.
Listen to this prick.
So,
You're the one that make fun of
just remember that Sarge that you always know, Tyrone. He's gonna side with his white daddy. And listen. Since Sarge wants to play hardball, I'm still gonna speak gently, but it's not gonna be nice for you. You yourself, Sarge.
I'm ready to fight your ass right now.
Okay, well, calm down.
We ain't gonna fight.
Get your motherfucking dukes up.
Okay, calm down.
Okay, I'm finna lob the first volley. Listen.
Wait a minute now. We on YouTube. Y'all can't go crazy.
Trust me, Tyrone. I understand that. So I'm taking care. Sarge is the first person in my lifetime to ever confess to being cut by a Republican member of the United States Senate if he would agree with the policies that Sarge agreed with. He would get on his bending knee and cuck himself out over this man with a swallow, to be exact. He said it to all of us. We all was there. I don't have to tell you who you had confessed in front of, Sarge. So you want to throw blows? Match mine, then, son.
I don't know what kind of pornographic fantasy in that goddamn degenerate head.
You said it out of your own mouth, sir. Out of your own mouth, sir. You confessed with our own mouth on how you would cuck yourself out for Ted Cruz. Okay?
Man, full of shit.
No, Sarge, you said that. I heard you.
You better bring the motherfucking receipt, you son of a bitch. You're a goddamn liar.
You did say it, Sarge. I heard you.
I said it was a goddamn joke, fool.
Well, you don't joke like that.
And I didn't say it.
You did say it, Sarge.
Bring the goddamn receipt. It's your word against mine. You lying, spina bifida, making fun of son of a bitch.
Sarge, listen. You said you would have oral sex with Ted Cruz
This motherfucker got the nerve to talk about me, and he makes fun of people with disabilities. Fuck him.
Who's got disabilities?
That fucking mama's boy. He was making fun of people with spina bifida and other disabilities.
I ain't hear that.
And I remember it that night, that cocksucker. He does that kind of shit all the time.
Well, Sarge, at least we on. I think we're on the same page with the N word because you use it, and you know, there's a reason that you use it, and
I have used it, but I said there'll be one standard for everybody on this. This is the United States.
Okay, so break that down to me. Break that down to me.
Broke up along ethnic lines for that very reason. among others.
Okay, so whenever you say one standard for everybody, what do you mean by that exactly?
I mean, there's one standard in public discourse. If the N word is proscribed for any group, it should be proscribed for all.
Okay, so you're talking about white Americans, Asian Americans, everybody should be able
I
to.
said all. That means 330 million citizens of the United States.
So, in your opinion, everybody should be able to.
330 million citizens of the United States should be subjected to the same standard for people who are similarly situated.
Okay, so check this out. What if like 90% of those 300 million people didn't have the same historical experience as the people who use it?
The only way I would make an exception to that if those people are having that same historical evidence existence today. Not as a historical reality. We can always talk about the history and place it into context.
Well, that's impossible because you can't go back and give everybody the same historical experience. You just can't.
No. Everybody doesn't have the same. That's a given. That everybody doesn't have the same historical experience.
Right.
What I'm saying is you cannot go around acting as though that historical experience is what you experience as a contemporary living in the contemporary United States.
No, you can embrace a timeline of history for your group. So everybody got a separate group.
What do you mean?
Listen to what I'm saying. The Anglos come from Europe, and they've got their history, right? You got people that come from Scotland. They got their history, right? And we got our history being bought from Africa. All of those timelines are different. And my timeline, as of being bought from Africa, includes the N-word. The people that come from the Caucasus Mountain don't include that damn N-word in their timeline. Do you understand that?
Wait a minute. So wait a minute. Let me ask you a question now.
Okay.
So you're saying that the Irish people today should be acting as though they're still the same United States as when they had signs up saying no Irish or black or niggers need apply.
Listen, you look at Saint. Listen.
The same way today as when those signs were extant.
Listen to what I'm saying. The Irish, you use the Irish, right? So what do we do on St. Patrick's Day? They do the clover, they do the green shit, they do the Lucky Charm. They got all day fucking. And listen, you got the Irish pubs. They talk about drinking. The Irish got their own goddamn history, right? And they embrace every bit of it. We don't never try to use theirs or invade in their fucking goddamn Lucky Charm bullshit, right?
Ever celebrate St. Patty's Day?
Okay, listen.
What kind of black people celebrate on St. Patty's Day?
Okay, you ain't even trying to hear what I'm trying to say.
I just gave an example where black people
I
do
don't.
and they share it with them.
Listen to what I'm saying.
From Chicago, there was all kind of black people celebrating in St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, you're going off track. What I'm trying to say is there is a.
Directly to what you said.
Don't
You're not. What I'm trying to tell you is that what I'm trying to tell you is that the timelines are distinguished by certain groups, and in that group you get to dictate whatever your goddamn history, culture is, and you embrace whatever the fuck you want it to. So that's all I'm trying to say. Do you understand that?
Embracing in it is not the same thing as dwelling in it.
Okay, whatever. You just trying to you.
Marinating in grievance about it.
Okay. So like I said earlier, you want white people to call you nigga, and I understand why.
Look, see, now you just did it again. I said,
and Tyrone, he doesn't. Another thing, but there's another thing there. There's another thing I'm picking up. He doesn't want black people to celebrate kicking Whitey in the mouth.
Oh, for God's sake. I swear to God, man, you just make up your own realities of what people say that they didn't say. Now, I'm reading a story right now about Eugene Bullard, the Black Swallow of Death. I would recommend his story to every one of you people to find out how a black man can truly overcome adversity without whining or complaining and attain greatness. Read his story. It's called All Blood Runs Red. And he
So
regularly kicked white people's asses because he was a boxer, and when they confronted him with racism, he knocked them out. He also became the first black combat pilot. He was a French Foreign Legionnaire. He fought at Verdun. He went on to found a nightclub. He was a spy. He was a jockey. He was a boxer. He worked on vaudeville. He's one of the greatest black men I've ever read of in my life, and not one microsecond did he ever whine or complain like a little bitch.
Are you done with the pivot?
No, I'm going right to what you just said. You talking about people who do this,
Sound like a full
and they
pivot to me.
This is what I mean about you. You make up your own alternate realities for what people say, and I said no such thing. You always supposed to stand up for yourself, like I do with you motherfuckers right here.
I give you that, Sarge. I give you that.
And I don't care if you like it or not.
Listen.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what I feel, and you better goddamn mouth for not one microsecond.
Listen, Sarge.
Being disingenuous.
Sarge, listen, I give it to you. I will give you that. You do climb your sloppy drunk ass in the ring. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Because these blows, I like to give them easy. I don't want to have to chase you.
Like you can't lay a glove on me.
So let's get back to the message at hand. Okay? Let's get back to the message at hand. I can sense a tinge of some sort of hatred for the soldier for the black cause in your comments.
Oh man, let me explain that one to you, because I can understand why you might think that, but that definitely ain't true. Because so many of those black soldiers, as you put it, have misled us and led us down the garden primrose path. I mean, the definition of insanity is what? Doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, I got news. Black community been doing the same goddamn thing for the last 80, 90 years, and they expecting a different result, and they keep saying things are getting worse. Now, what does that say to you? Maybe they're not following the right path. Does it even?
Well, no. That doesn't say that to me. That doesn't say that to me. What does it say? Okay, let me explain to you. What your words say to me is that you don't have a bit of fucking clue of what the fuck's really going on. There is hold on, listen, Sarge. Listen. As you should I'm fixing to tell you, but you keep trying to talk over me, man.
Are you going on another tangent?
Well, maybe you just shut the fuck up for once in your life. Now listen.
Shut the fuck up when you say something worthwhile.
Maybe you just shut the fuck up. So, just like a soldier in the military goes through training, and it doesn't stop at basic training. So you'll find
this is what wealth inequality in the United States actually looks like. This grain of rice represents $200,000. That's about the median net worth of a citizen in the United States, which means if you took our population and drew a line
into their career. And that's because with training, especially expert training, you become an expert. The old saying is practice doesn't make you perfect. Perfect practice makes you perfect. And Sarge, in time, okay, let's just take your stupid ass word for it. The black community been fucking up all these years doing the same old shit. Well, at some point, you will figure they might figure it out. Now, I know your posture shows you don't think black folks will ever figure it out unless they got you barking up their ass like a drill sergeant. But my posture is we don't need deadbeat, dry-skinned motherfuckers like you around anymore. So we just gonna let you fall off, and we probably not gonna even tell you that we got lotion on now. See, we probably just gonna let you fall off and watch our glory. So you'll understand that you're a weak piece of shit. Because we do Why are you talking? Why are you even talking? But my final word is, because we refine ourselves, dumb nigga. We refine ourselves, dumb nigga.
Oh my goodness. Well, sorry, you don't give any credence to black people.
You did not offer one goddamn solution, not one, other than to attack me.
But you don't acknowledge black people suffering in this country and the reason
That's precisely what I'm acknowledging. That's what you don't seem to hear.
But do you think that there was ever a point to where we were even and we caught up?
There was a point in some respects that we were better off, and I'm talking within living memory.
No, my question is even.
In many respects, in most respects today, we are better off than we were 70 or 80
Okay,
years
let me
ago,
be clear.
but in many respects, we are not.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
asking you. I'm asking
yeah,
you.
Tyrone.
Were we ever
Now,
even?
I'm ready to go into specifics, unlike this fool I'm sparring with here. I'm kicking his ass.
Well, I'm asking
Like I
you.
said, I would like to go into the specifics of what those things are.
You will, but let me just be clear about my question. Were we ever even with white society in this country?
No.
Okay, then that's the point right there.
See, you're asking hard questions now. That's good.
That's the point. So if we were never even, Sarge, then there's a reason for us to have the demeanor that we have now. Do you understand that?
No.
Okay.
Because rationality and reason never goes out of style, ever.
Okay, well, I don't know what the hell you're talking about
I
now.
don't care what your circumstances are.
So if we don't have access to the same resources, you just said we won't even. If we don't have access to the same resources, the money, the property, the ability to create businesses and gather wealth, if we don't have and we have been incarcerated more than anybody in this goddamn country, then what the fuck is you talking about if you acknowledging that, Sarge?
Rome wasn't built in a day. It started out as a couple of mud huts on the banks of the Tiberias River.
Hey,
And like I
stop.
said, it doesn't start in a day. You got to build it up from wherever you are. That's where you start.
Hey, you know what I hear when I hear that, Tyrone?
What's that?
Hey, man, don't cut that fence today. Look, I'll let you know if you can do it tomorrow.
Take a look in the mirror. You're the one trapped on the plantation.
Don't cut that fence right today.
Hey, you know what this remind me of? Hold on, guys. You know what this remind me of? It was a TikTok video that I seen, and I'm going to share it with y'all. So y'all hold on for 1 second, and this will be a perfect for this conversation. Now I want y'all to look at the YouTube screen, right? And I'll describe it if you can't see it. There's this guy on TikTok, and he used a grain of rice to represent $200,000. Now, $200,000 is supposed to be the medium income for this country, and you know black communities is much lower than that, right?
You said $200,000 a median income for the United States? Are you crazy?
Oh, okay, but this is what I'm telling you what he's representing, okay? But
Well, you know that's not true. Maybe he's using
okay, so just follow me. Listen.
Maybe it's an equation. Maybe it's an equation, Sarge.
Yes, because it's going to make sense. If you it's going to make sense if you watch the YouTube video. He uses 1 grain of rice to represent $200,000, and then he shows us how much Trump got. He shows us how much the majority of American got was up under that $200,000, that 1 grain of rice, and then he shows us how much Trump got, and then he shows us how Vivek Ramaswamy got, and then he goes on to show us how much money Elon Musk has got. So I'm going to play this video, and then y'all look at this damn video on YouTube.
This is what wealth inequality in the United States
and watch the difference. Now, I want y'all to see this shit. I'm gonna play it though.
This is what wealth inequality in the United States actually looks like. This grain of rice represents 200,000. This is what wealth inequality in the United States actually looks like. This grain of rice represents $200,000. That's about the median net worth of a citizen in the United States, which means if you took our population and drew a line split down the middle, about half of us have this much or less. Half of us have. We think of $1 million. This is $100 million. This is about the net worth of CEOs who delay and deny care for sick Americans. This is also about the net worth of CEOs who tell Americans to eat cereal if they can't afford food for their hungry kids. For elections. This is what he spent to buy the presidency. This is $1 billion. This is the approximate net worth if they can't afford food for their hungry kids. This is 200 of Vivek Ramaswamy. Only 800 people in the United States have this much money or more. As a frame of reference, think about how many people you went to high school with. Only 800. And this is $6.3 billion. This is the approximate net worth of Donald Trump. He recently said in an interview that he doesn't think he can bring grocery prices down after running his campaign on a promise to do so. He also blames immigrants who have less than a fraction of a grain of rice each for a lot of the financial troubles facing our country. And this is Elon Musk. He's worth $400 billion. He spent $277 million on the 2024 election cycle, while we have homeless veterans on our streets and hungry kids in our schools. This is what actual wealth disparity looks like in America. Each grain of rice is worth $200,000. And Elon Musk also wants to fire 75% of our federal workforce, which includes a majority of veterans. He wants to fire 75% of these people who have a single grain of rice, trying to earn a living and feed their families, because he says that that's inefficient. Musk, Ramaswamy, and certain members of Congress also want to consider cutting social welfare programs to support people with less than a single grain of rice from going into poverty. They want to look at cutting these programs because they believe that that's inefficient. Now that we finished the civics lesson, let's talk biology. Did you know that all human beings, no matter how much money they have, are all mortal? We're all made of flesh and bone, we all have to eat, and we all have to sleep. Each of us has only one life, and I encourage you to do something notable with yours. The American dream has been stolen from you. What happens to a dream deferred? Who's hungry? Trying to earn a living and feed their families because he says that that's inefficient. Musk, Ramaswamy, and certain members of Congress also want to consider cutting social welfare programs to support people with less than a single grain of rice from going into poverty. They want to look at cutting these programs because they believe that that's inefficient. Now that we finished the civics lesson, let's talk biology. Did you know that all human beings, no matter how much money they have, are all mortal? We're all made of flesh and bone, we all have to eat, and we all have to sleep. Each of us has only one life, and I encourage you to do something notable with yours. The American dream has been stolen from you. What happens to a dream deferred? Who's hungry?
All right. So I don't know if y'all seen that or not, but it was like
Yeah, we saw it.
it was crazy if that one rice represented $200,000, and I know the majority of people in this country don't have that much. But if you looked at damn Elon Musk's $600 billion, he could fucking fix poverty in 2 countries if he wanted to. And these people are steady trying to take money from Social Security. They're trying to close down the goddamn healthcare system. They're trying to take more taxes, and they're trying to give more money to the richest people in this goddamn country, while we sitting down here arguing about bullshit when it comes to politics. They got us at each other's throat while they're just steady grabbing money.
I'm glad. Can I go for a second, Tyrone?
Go ahead, Elisa.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was just gonna say. I think when he said the $200,000 is not that that's necessarily the median
Yeah.
income. He's saying that everybody, the majority of everybody, is under that $200,000.
Yeah, that's what he
Wherever
said.
you're at, wherever you're at.
His concept. I understood what he's trying to do. I understood it.
Yeah.
Now having it understood it.
Wait a minute, let Elisa finish, Sarge. Let Elisa finish.
So, and I've seen a lot of people do those scales, and they're true. They are true. The problem that I'm having with this new administration, not one of the problems with this new administration, because the Republican Party, we're not discussing MAGA Party, but the Republican Party, but especially those that are in there now, they're all about deregulation of everything. They want to just deregulate. Now, I don't have a problem with capitalism because that's the society that we live in, unless we want to move and go to a socialist someplace else. But that's what we live in, as a capitalist society. I don't have a problem. Get yours. If you could get much more than me, get it. I don't have a problem with that. But it's how you get it. And I am about regulated capitalism. Because if, like, people, business owners, people who create, people who this, people who run, people who get jobs, that's the muckety muck, the ones at the top. That stuff has to be regulated. So somebody can't come in with a company, bombard, and knock all other mom and pops or other people with ideas at the top. You have the very rich get a monopoly over everything. We have to have regulations to make sure we don't have monopolies, to give those at the bottom a chance to be able to do their thing. You have to have regulations against that. You have to have regulations for people who sell things, companies, CEOs. You have to have regulations that they have regulations that they cannot put out subpar products, sell it for whatever, just to get rich and people get hurt. You have to have regulations and things like that to make sure that those things that they're putting out and selling to the public, whether regardless of what it is, all the way down from watch, shoes, food. You have to make sure that it's not going to hurt the public. You can't allow them just to do what they want to make a buck. And it's things like that. Capitalism is fine, but it has to be regulated. And they don't want regulation at the top. That is what this is about. You have your Vivek Ramaswamy, you have your Elon Musk, you have all of these billionaires, which in a sense is turning into oligarchs. And they want to do whatever they want to do. They want to be able to hoard all of the wealth and not pay the people anything that is remotely looking like a living wage. They don't want to get benefits. They don't want to pay for a time off. They want to bust unions. That is what unions are about, trying to make sure that the people can get their fair share at the bottom. There's enough at the top. And I agree with what Bernie Sanders said. The rich in this country, the American dream is over. The rich in this country has become so greedy. And just like we were tricked back with Reaganomics that trickle down, none of that money trickled down to anybody. It was about making these people more powerful. And that is what's going on right now. Then you have these people who are working, firefighters, who are working for the car industry, who's working for steel, who's working for whatever the hell. And you have a damn union. And a lot of these people's unions sold them out. They sold them out because these people don't want to pay fair wages. They want to just pay you. We're right now living in a new gilded age. That is where we're at right now. We're living in a new gilded age. The ones at the top got it all. And for years, for about 2 decades, they were saying we cannot allow the wealth gap to calcify. It has calcified now. That's where we're at. That's what we're looking at. You can be as rich as you want, but the greed is off the chain. No, Sarge is going to disagree with that, but it's the greed. You don't even want to give people $1 more an hour. You don't even want to give them an extra week off to spend the holidays with their family or take a vacation. They want to raise the age of retirement again, and then with the little Social Security that the average person paid into, they want to cut that. Or they want to start out privatizing it so the rich can make some money off of that. They don't want the working, and that's the thing. These white people that Sarge, that he agrees with a lot of their things, a lot of their points of view, but they don't know that they're going against their own best interest. These people don't even want to. Donald Trump and what's to do? Elon Musk laugh about union busting, about firing people who want to strike. They just want $2 more an hour. And the greedies at the top, they want it all. They can't even give the people $2 more an hour. Women having babies, you say you want people to have babies? That's what you say you do. But you don't even want to give the mothers and the women the time off, maternal time off when they have a baby. You don't want to give the husbands or the boyfriends, the fathers or whatever, to be able to take maternal time off from work. Just a little while. That's all they're asking for, is a little while. And they don't want to give that. And how anybody can go along with this non-American dream that we have going on, you're not going to be able to get the things that you want. You're going to have these people that just take over everything. Blockbust, the little mom and pop, they got them an idea. They don't have a chance because the people at the top got the monopoly, and they want us all to just work and make them money. That's fine, because everybody is not meant to be a boss, and it's not meant to build an industry. But pay the people a damn fair wage. You're just hoarding the money. You're just hoarding it. And you don't want to give it to the people. That is what the main focus, one of the main, not all, but one of the main focus of this administration, empowering the rich to get richer. When the hell did Trump get $6 billion? When he came in, wasn't he right around at 2 or something? And he's still out selling guitars, tennis shoes, watches, Bibles. It's just tacky as hell. When have we ever had a president in office, going back in office, still selling tacky, wacky shit? And then, and like Trump said, I love it. He told Elon Musk, I love it. The people in there striking, what do? You just fire everybody. Ah, ha, ha, ha. They laughed at that. Sarge, I don't know how you could go along with that, being an American and fighting for, fighting, and what you said for the American people to go along with that foolishness. For middle America and people all over the place, they just want a wage to be able to buy a house, buy a car, somewhat give their children a few dollars on college, be able to buy food and take a fishing vacation. And they don't want you to have that. That's all I got, Tyrone.
All right, Sarge, what you got, brother?
Well, now, let's see. What I just heard in that screed was a resentment of those who generate wealth. I heard
you see, it's not a resentment. I don't have to stop you. It's not a resentment. I don't have to stop you. I said, no, I started off with saying,
yeah, I heard what you said,
you're right. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
That was
I'm not going to listen to you. Because you started off with a resentment.
And I will tell you why.
Allow me to finish. Let me just say this, and you can go ahead on. You started off with saying, I have a resentment towards the wealthy.
Yes, because you were at odds.
What you mean a person didn't say something? What are you two? Tyrell, what are you two? I started from the beginning, and I said, I
acknowledged that, and it was a direct contrast to what you said.
Sarge,
I'll explain
please.
to you why.
Okay, you will. But when you start off saying that I have a resentment towards the wealthy, then I could make me
resentment.
Oh my God, what are you doing? Are you doing? You can't even let a person finish say thought. You can't even let a person allow.
You have an open or explicit resentment.
Oh my God, what are you two? Are you two?
You know what words mean?
No, you are a goddamn baby boomer, and you don't even know how to conduct yourself.
You can't listen. Take the wax out your goddamn ears.
You see that, y'all? Y'all see that? It led to F you, take the wax out of your ears.
Well, you're the one started it. I got a bad temper. I got a bad temper.
I asked you to allow me to finish a sentence.
I don't like it when other people do.
I asked you to allow me to finish a sentence. Can you
I want
do
you to know
that?
I said veiled resentment, not open or explicit.
I don't have any resentment. If you can let me get this sentence out, it's a quick sentence. I don't have any resentment towards the wealthy and towards billionaires. If I could get there, I would. I would do what I could to get there. I said, but it has to be regulated. So if somebody's like, fine, get yours. If I could earn me 2, 3, 10 billion, I would take care of me and mine. I would even shoot you some if you needed it. I just said that it has to be, in my opinion, it has to be regulated. And they don't want it regulated. That's not resentment. That is get yours, but it should be regulated. There's nothing wrong with that statement. I'm done. Go ahead.
All right, again. Direction of the economy that is not consistent with the Constitution to prevent fraud and criminality is fascism. Now, I know you don't know the definition of fascism. You mean it's anybody that you don't like. But there's a specific definition for fascism, and that means corporate regulation of businesses by the government. Undue corporate regulation by the government. That is the very definition of fascism, and to a degree, that is what you are advocating. Now, I know Elon Musk probably got more money than he'll ever need, or anyone will ever need. But you are ignoring the fact that despite his massive wealth, he's also expanded the economy by trillions of dollars. All of his collective businesses, Neuralink, Starlink, Boring, all these other, SpaceX, have contributed trillions to the economy, to include paychecks and investments by investors and stockholders. Trillions of dollars. So there's it's not like some hedge fund manufacturer doing economic ledger domain with accounting tricks like those bastards did in the 2008 housing crisis. He actually makes things that people can use and possess. It's not the same thing. He deserves the money he's got, given the amount to the economy that he has expanded. As far as I'm concerned, he has earned it. Now, if you want to sit up there and think there's such a thing as too much money, you sound like a collective Marxist, or that sounds like collective Marxism, to decide how wealth should be distributed. If you can earn it, you should keep it. And he's earned it.
Okay.
And by the way,
Well,
Harris got $1.1 billion. She got outspent Trump by 2.5 times. He didn't get that much money. And where did she get her money from? She got it from corporatist oligarchs in the main.
all right, listen. I'm gonna let you go, Elisa. But this conversation is not going.
I just want to say this. I'm not gonna say anything back to him just yet. I just want to say this to you while you questioning him.
Mm-hmm.
You see how he didn't touch on none of the stuff that I said. Not really.
I'm ready to, but I don't like to ramble all fucking night. I'm waiting for a response.
Okay, well, this is.
I went off for 1 minute and 45 seconds. I timed myself.
Okay, well, that's good. But listen, the comment.
Give me more time. I got lots more to say.
Okay, the conversation is not going to. We're not talking about what you're talking. I'm not talking about what you're talking about, Sarge. But the point that I'm trying to make is Elon Musk has $600 billion, and if you look at the graph that was displayed, you can see how much money Elon Musk owns over everybody else in the United States of America. And Sarge is saying that's an expansion of the American economy, which is not true because it's an expansion of Elon Musk's economy. And the way that works is Elon Musk got government contracts, and Elon Musk is working for the place that is going to give him money for his subsidies for what the hell Elon Musk owns. So it's a big fucking goddamn circle that Elon Musk has created with the United States federal government with your and my money that he's taking from us in the form of taxes and getting paid to his organization in the form of subsidies, and he's not creating wealth in America. He's not building factories. He's not creating jobs. As a matter of fact, today on X, there was a big debate because Donald Trump and Elon Musk started hiring Indian people to come over and run these goddamn tech companies in America, and Donald Trump's MAGA base got pissed with Elon Musk. I should pull it up. And they was like, why are you hiring people that's not American? And what Elon Musk was saying back and forth is that white Americans is not smart enough to work in goddamn engineering and tech and all this kind of shit. And it got into this big old back and forth to where Laura Loomer jumped in there. Laura Ingram, I think Laura Ingram jumped in there. And then now they're finding out that these billionaires that they fucking elected don't give a shit about their dumb ass. So that's why, Sarge, you sound like a fucking idiot right now defending those fucking billionaires when they're going to try to take your goddamn Social Security. They're going to try to take your veterans pay. They're going to try to take money from you, that little grain of rice. They're going to still try to suck that goddamn money out of you, even though they got all that money that they're sitting on for whatever fucking reason. And like I said, there's a chart on the screen right now, and you can see who Donald Trump has hired. Donald Trump has hired billionaires in his fucking administration to continue to take money from people like you and I. So there's no way in the world that you, me, and Elisa should be in disagreement right now, Sorry. There's no way. Not unless you're just that damn stupid.
2,000 grains of rice were spent on illegal aliens in just Chicago.
Okay, yeah, you're just
and those people in Chicago are protesting those grains of rice being spent on illegal aliens throughout the United States.
Sorry, that doesn't matter.
500 million of those grains of rice were being spent in Chicago alone.
Sorry, do you realize that doesn't matter?
Wait a minute, so you gotta ignore that and act like that doesn't add up to a significant sum.
Do you understand that doesn't matter? You don't get it.
I asked him.
To that Tyrone. I can do math too.
Okay, go ahead, Lisa. I don't think he get it.
And Tyrone, and some of his cars are built, like let's go with just Tesla. Some of his cars are built, some manufactured in California, Nevada, and Texas. but the bulk of his manufacturing is in Shanghai, China, and he also that's where the bulk of it are produced in Shanghai, and also in Berlin. And as far as since we want to talk about the immigrants, how much did immigrants? Because
How
I
many
want to make
claims
sure I
of
get
rights we
Wait a minute.
immigrants
Hold
got
on, Sarge.
illegal aliens?
Hold on, Sarge. Go ahead,
to
Elisa.
the economy. The whole,
Okay,
how much
we'll
does
do.
the immigrants pay into the economy? Everybody's so curious.
Elon Musk
Everybody's
doesn't.
so.
Oh, this guy
Does
just
it
wants to
hire
argue.
anybody?
Sarge, you
Does it
just want to
hire any
argue.
I didn't
Americans?
say.
Listen, we just want to hear the
I'm
conversation, man.
answering.
Any
I'm
corporate tax?
answering. Wait a minute. I'm answering the question to the immigrants now. The immigrants paid. The last I heard, they said it was 900 billion, but this is saying anywhere from 466 to 900 billion into American people's Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, and things like that. So they're not just sitting pretty here collecting. They're paying into shit that they can't even use.
They should complain. They're here illegally.
But they're paying into it.
Well,
You
let them
don't
take the money back with them to where they came from.
You want them to do that?
Yeah, I'd like them to do that. Yes.
To take that 466 to 900 billion? You want
Well,
them to
they've
send
already
that back
paid it.
to
They
where
can't take it back out. They've lost it. It's just some money they've lost. I said any future money they might pay, take it back with you to Venezuela or to Guatemala or to Mexico or to Kazakhstan or wherever the hell it is you came from.
And then how about this? How about this? We need the workforce. People are not having babies like they used to anymore.
Well, who's
And they
fault is
should.
that? Sound like the Democrats encourage women not to get pregnant.
That is a government problem. Well, you don't even want to give the people a child tax credit, for God's sake. You don't even want to give people
Women
maternity
know
leave,
how to
for
get pregnant
God's sake.
with child tax credits. Gee, you
So
don't
let
think
the
like women, do you?
immigrants go. Let the immigrants go and let them go and get rid of that $900 and some billion. And let's see how the white folks in New America that you always taking them for and arguing about how are they going to get that damn Social Security and how are the red states who are sucking off Mother America's tits from all of the blue states. Work it out. Y'all work it out, sorry. Work it out. Y'all work it out.
Come up with a socialist solution to
Work
it.
it out, sorry.
Okay, so hey guys, I got another.
Y'all
All right.
work it out.
Okay, so
Even notice that?
hold on.
The government give somebody.
Hold on. I got another caller here. Who's this unknown caller?
Yeah, I dropped off. I had a simple question.
Boy, women can't have babies so they get child tax.
Sorry, let Jay go.
Pregnant anymore.
Sorry, let Jay go.
What kind of thinking is that?
You don't like nobody cutting you off and you cut people off.
To make worker bees and people to work for these rich people, and I don't have a problem. Pay them a decent wage and let the people work and have a life. I don't have a problem with that. But the women shouldn't have these babies for this damn country. And the red states over there where you living at.
Heard it now. I can rest my case. You just heard what she said. I don't need to say anything else now. Now we got women. Now we need to have an executive population.
Bombs,
No women
all you red state bombs sucking off the shit of America. All you red state,
Okay.
all you red state bombs sucking off the tit of America while the blue states function and support y'all raggedy asses. Yeah, I say.
All right.
Unfucking-leavable.
All right. So hold on.
Before pregnancy.
Hold on. Let Jay get in there, guys. Go ahead, Jay.
So the question, he don't have to answer now, maybe, but sometime, right? The question is that after these 4 years, after January 20th, when Donald Trump takes control, you got the House, you got the Senate. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. We're gonna pass. I'm not saying in 2 years. I'm asking you at the end of his presidency, very clearly, question. I'm not talking about the rich people. Are the American people here struggling, middle class, so-called middle class, in between middle class, poor, working poor, anybody that's under that range that we consider, struggling, right? Again, even working class people that have, they able to live in a good house, a nice neighborhood, but they're struggling right now. Not talking about in the hood only. I'm talking about people that live in the suburbs, nice neighborhoods. They're struggling because of high this, high that, right? So again, my question, Sarge, outside of the billionaires, the millionaires, and the trillionaires, is America gonna be better off financially at the end of this 4-year term of Donald Trump?
No.
Or are we gonna be in a bill? We're gonna owe money and be back into, he brought the debt up. Where are we gonna be 4 years from now financially for the working class of America? Everybody that's doing what they're supposed to do, despite all these obstacles and racism and everything, and they still pushing, right? Struggling. Now that the Messiah has come, at the end of his term, is we gonna have the majority of the people in a better situation financially?
No. No. And let me bring up Arkansas with Miss Huckleberry. They damn governor put out a video with her lying self talking about, oh, we've just been voted the #1 state. Arkansas is the place to be. Arkansas is what, number 48, 49 of the bummiest bum states with no money, bad bad health care, bad infrastructure. And that's not saying the blue states don't have problems, because they do. All the states have problems. But Arkansas is what, like number 48, funny, and they said something like 1.5 million children are living in poverty with no damn health care. And what the cost of living is low, yes, because your infrastructure, because you're not attracting the businesses that you need to do. And they pay some of the lowest wages. That bum ass state, but she just Huckleberry decided to go ahead, make a video. Oh, Arkansas, we have been voted #1. Like, and then she talks to run down New York, run down California, with them damn states, and my state too, since they've been supporting that bum ass, poor ass state. And then you listen to the people who were saying, don't come to Arkansas. People come to Arkansas. All the doctors and all the people who are people upwardly mobile, they don't go there. And everybody is lying like Trump. And when I heard that video that she made, I went to go check when did Arkansas circumstances change. And I went to look, they still number 48, number 49, bum ass state, and the stupid people sitting up there voting against their best interest. They don't have different infrastructure, different businesses and economies and stuff. And the same thing with the South. Same thing with the South. A lot of the southern states, they just stuck on agriculture instead of trying to worry about trans people in the bathroom or trans soccer players. And Arkansas had that big thing about trans players on soccer teams, and your state is bum ass. And then some other state with the governor was like, if they cut off all these things, whether y'all know it or not, I forget which bum ass state that was. It's like, look, if they cut all these social safety net entitlements and things like that, and the governor came out and said, we depend on that. Then we depend on it more. It was like something like 55% of the state depends on that. If they get the cut, this is a red state, red governor. We depend on that. They talk about cutting all these things and this, that. Our state needs this stuff desperately. And then they come out, and then you got Huckleberry over there lying to the Arkansasians because they stupid. And somebody said, well, Arkansas has some good people. If they had good people, good smart people, if their education was more than trying to burn a damn book.
Uh-oh. Did I do something?
You still on? What?
Yeah, I guess Elisa must have dropped off.
Well, anyway, look, I would like to answer Jay's question about is the economy going to be better off under Donald Trump after his 4-year administration? I don't have a crystal ball.
Not only hold on. Not only I want to be clear. Not only the economy, I'm talking about people's situations financially that are struggling now, that they're complaining right now about the Democrats and this and high. So again, at the end, all these people that are working and struggling as of now, what's going to be at the end of the 4 years? Not just the economy, the stocks and the Nasdaq and all that shit. I'm talking about the average person. Are we going to be hearing people all over the news and see poverty and all this homelessness and all the things with high rent? You tell me.
All right, again, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. But I can tell you this much. Donald Trump should not have the power to fix every economic wrong in the country.
What?
If he did, that would mean he'd be either a dictator or a fascist ruler.
Nah, that's some bullshit.
Can I answer your question, please?
Go ahead, sir.
He is the chief executive of the federal branch of the executive branch of the federal government. That's it. His primary duty is to reduce waste and inefficiency in the federal government and create an economic climate that can allow for growth. The primary mechanism for economic development in each one of the 50 states is the state and local government. What the president can do is create an environment that will foster that. And if Donald Trump's 4 previous years are any indication, absent a pandemic that derailed his economic success for the most part, I predict, based upon that and what he has already announced his intentions to do, then yes, most people will benefit economically from his administration.
Okay, listen. What Sarge just said is that he walking back Donald Trump's reason for being elected. The whole idea for Donald Trump being elected and these guys was the economy, right? They said Donald Trump was going to fix the economy, but look, whenever he's in office, you hear Sarge walking back. Donald Trump ain't supposed to do this and ain't supposed to do that. That's some bullshit. That just shows me that either you got food or you're ignorant. You're ignorant. Listen. Look, guys, this is what I was alluding to earlier, is that today, this article is dated today, that it says why MAGA is turning against their own. Nikki Haley and Laura Loomer slams Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy on immigration. And what they did was instead of hiring an American, right? It's supposed to be an America first and make America great and all of that bullshit. They hired a Indian guy to work in the tech industry. And when Vivek Ramaswamy got pushed back on it, he started talking to the MAGA supporters, and he said it's not about culture. It's not okay. Here it is, right here. Amid growing criticism of this guy getting hired, the Republican leader Vivek Ramaswamy took to social media to defend the hiring trend in tech, emphasizing cultural factors over intellectual capabilities. In the lengthy post on social media, Ramaswamy defended hiring the immigrant engineers in the tech industry, emphasizing that the issue is rooted in culture and not IQ. So what he's telling white Americans is that we're still going to hire fucking immigrants for the big goddamn jobs. We just needed y'all for y'all dumbass vote, just like this idiot on the phone. We just needed you to get us rich people into office so we can spread the fucking rich people across the goddamn world and put them in the goddamn loop and fuck y'all. So these motherfuckers, Sarge and them is stupid as fuck. They've been played and they don't understand that they've been played. They still arguing that Republican versus Democrat shit. That was just a game, you fucking idiot. They wanted you to be mad with the Democrats so you can show up at the goddamn ballot box. They didn't give a fuck about this goddamn country, and they don't give a fuck about the goddamn Democrats. They only programmed you motherfuckers to be angry all the time, talking about blue state this and blue state that, and your dumb ass is still blinded while these motherfuckers gonna rob your motherfucking country blind as shit. Who's this unknown caller?
Yeah, well, hello
That,
everybody.
that's something coherent? It wasn't. Didn't sound very coherent to me.
Well, let me let
And
Joe
I
get
got an
in there.
answer
But
for
I
your
mean,
ass whenever I
somebody
get a chance.
understood. Somebody understood what
I
the
got
fuck
an
I said.
answer for your ass.
And by the way, you didn't really
And
answer
we'll
my
see who's
question.
stupid.
Hold on, Sarge, real quick, because you could do it after Joe. But you didn't answer the full question. You said that we're gonna, there's gonna be people that's gonna benefit.
I don't like to ramble off
hold
endlessly.
on,
I make my
Sarge.
point and I
Listen,
wait for you to respond.
no, but hold
I
on,
got lots more to say.
Sarge, there's no reason to yell because I'm not yelling
What am I
over
supposed
you.
to keep rambling like you guys do?
Sarge, hold on. I just let this simmer when Joe comes in, right? Because it's something to think about. Seriously, I want you to think about how, not about who's gonna benefit. I'm saying is people gonna be financially better that are struggling now, or
Yes, I think I answered
inflation.
that. I believe they will.
You said people will be benefiting. It doesn't mean that but you know what? We can talk about that later. We'll talk about that because I'm gonna dig deep into this shit. Because I don't want no gray areas. We need to be frank because everybody was saying he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that. Now they see the reality of it and they're like, and now they're backing up you. Or even listen, the self-proclaimed master economist here, Mr. Solutions, even said that he's not gonna see the economy getting fixed completely. Things as they say was gonna happen, that he's not gonna fix all the things that he hyped up in the beginning. And that was your master economist, self-proclaimed Mr. Solution. So you better talk with him first about this. I'll leave it there.
I've agreed with you on that. He's not going to be able to fix everything, even if he claims.
Well, hold on. Let Joe.
I don't agree with Mr. Trump.
Let Joe go.
Okay, let Joe get in there.
We'll talk about that later, Sarge. We'll talk about that later.
Hold on, guys. Sarge, you're not.
All in a context.
Okay, Sarge, you're not even engaging in the conversation. You're just here to defend this shit.
I am.
No, you're not. But let Joe go.
You'll just say anything, won't you?
Well, you're not. You're just defending this fucking stupid choice.
You guys say.
You just
down many of the shows up in my target sites.
Okay. Well, let Joe go. What's up, Joe? At least I got your line back open.
Are you crazy? Why you listening to another show?
Hold on. At least I got your line back open. And Joe, go ahead, man.
Wow, that was quite enlightening. Anyway, the Republicans haven't proposed any real program since Obama got in. Everything has been anti. They don't have a health care plan. They don't have any plan for fixing the healthcare system at all. They don't have any economic plan except for tax cuts, and you cannot tax cut your way to prosperity. It doesn't work. I don't know why they keep trying to sell that to folks. For some reason, people seem to buy into it, but you cannot tax cut your way to prosperity. It just doesn't work that way. And so, this idea that government is too big is only a political stunt until the next disaster hits. Until, the next hurricane comes and blows away your trailer parks. Then all of a sudden, that small government that you've been wanting, they cry, oh, there's nobody there for us. I mean, look, we dug ourselves in a hole for a lot of years through a lot of administrations. We push businesses and manufacturing out to the world. We don't really do it here. All right. The concept of the American way of life was an illusion that kind of died in the 70s. Malls are dying all across the country. Towns are dying all across the country because we never really came up with a plan to replace what we were losing. Donald Trump doesn't have the magic solution. All he has is rhetoric and gets his people jammed up. But at the end of the day, they're going to go back to their trailer parks. They're going to be back to eating ramen and cup noodles and bitching and moaning. He doesn't have the solution for them. Nobody really does because I don't think anybody really had the foresight to see that we would be in this situation that we are in now. And so the oligarchs, that run this country basically are going to get richer under Donald Trump. That's his people. He's always rewarded and enriched them to the demise of the average American. And so until you get a populist, a real populist president, like maybe, Bernie Sanders in there, then you're going to keep seeing these false spikes to the economy without long-term solutions for your children. So I'll just leave it at that.
All right. There's another new unknown caller. Who is this?
Yeah, this me. Merry belated Christmas to all of you guys.
What's up, Mr. Solution? How you doing? Merry Christmas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, Joe had that exactly bass backwards. You can tax cut one's way to prosperity. What he meant, let me just tell you the economic theory. One can't tax their way to prosperity. Because under the rubric of giving people the optimal opportunity to have their own money, people and corporations, that's where you get economic growth. So that's why when a tax cut comes in, all things being equal, that's where your growth comes in. No one can spend anybody's money better than the person who earned it. So tax cuts are phenomenal. The government has used tax cuts not just to collect money, but what they call social engineering. And Jay, by the way, I'm not a self-proclaimed anything. I don't claim to be an expert. I manage my own resources, but I often refer people to financial planners, people who do this full time. So you have that exactly ass backwards. I didn't say that.
Okay, so let's get an understanding about Trump tax cuts. Trump tax cuts don't apply to people making below a certain amount of money. Now, I don't remember what that amount was. I think it's around $400,000. So if you make above $400,000, yes, you're going to get a tax cut. Those tax cuts for people making above 400 don't benefit the majority of Americans. So I don't know why Sarge or Mr. Solutions would defend the Trump's tax cuts whenever it don't apply to them. It's going to save money for those people that are getting that benefit, yes. But for you and I, we're going to suffer because, for one, just like Trump tried to do before he even came into office, he tried to raise the debt limit on this continuing resolution so he can have $5 trillion to give to the wealthiest people making above $400,000. So, Mr. Solutions, you're wrong whenever you're saying that tax cuts benefit people like you and I. You're right when you say tax. Wait a minute. Let me finish. You're right if you're saying tax cuts benefit people making above. I think it's $400,000. But go ahead.
All right. Well, even so, sir, that still inures or benefits me because the more economic activity. Look, two ways. I'm not exactly sure. I think it benefits the average person.
No.
But the bottom line is I'm not going to suffer at all. Not at all in any way financially, right? I may suffer listening to you. Just kidding. But I'm not going to suffer. You have that wrong. And you aren't going to suffer either because I figured out something, and I'm going to share it with you at a later time, maybe on ABC show. But look here, when corporations are able to keep their money, they're able to stay in the country. Corporations have a lot of power, and you really can't tax corporations. Corporations are pass-through. They collect taxes. They don't really pay taxes because they have to figure in how much tax that they're supposed to quote-unquote pay, and then they use that. They collect that in the price of their goods or services. So, and since taxes, I explained this to Miss Lady last time, taxes ipso facto are an adversarial situation. I mentioned the firm as an example of what I'm talking about. Corporations have better people to defend them, CPAs, tax attorneys. They can kick the government's ass, and they do, or they can pull up and move out of the country. They're mobile. The government can't make corporations pay taxes. Now, the other part of that is this, if I may. Corporations benefit us hella lot. We live in one of the best environments due to corporation and other freedoms that has ever existed. I would rather live today with the paltry amount of money that I have than to live 200 or 300 years ago with $10 billion. Didn't have air conditioning, didn't have supermarket, didn't have Home Depot and this kind of thing. So corporations, regardless as to how you Marxists want to phrase it, corporations do a hell of a lot of benefit for people, not to mention dividends on stocks that we can invest in. So corporations are very useful. Bottom line is this: poor people really can't benefit anybody. They can't even help themselves.
Wow.
Rich people and corporations do a phenomenal job. And I often say the best thing people can do for poor people is to not be one of them. And that's a fact.
That's crazy. Okay, don't cut me off. Listen, hold on. Wait a minute. Shut up. You ain't Sarge, listen, this is why you get muted, motherfucker. So shut up. This is my goddamn show. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Listen. Whenever Mr. Solution said poor people you can't do nothing for poor people, but don't do one of them. Listen, poor people contribute to this economy. Poor people run this goddamn country. If it wasn't for the poor people, then we would not have a goddamn country. So the people are taking the taxes.
Why don't they give you a job?
Okay. See, this is why I mute you. People are taking the taxes from the goddamn poor people. That's how the government gets its revenue. And speaking of tax cuts, if you get a tax cut, that means the government is receiving less money. So how is the government going to receive the goddamn money? They're going to raise the goddamn debt ceiling, and then they're going to charge you taxes so they can make up that goddamn difference. That is what the fuck happened with Trump's tax cuts. And like I just explained to you earlier, with Trump's tax cuts, there's an income limit, and I think it's $400,000. Somebody can correct me. Those are the people getting that benefit. The people below $400,000 is not going to get that benefit. So it is not going to help people working that makes less than $400,000 at all. It will benefit. Okay, so that's why I'm gonna mute you too. Yeah, I'm gonna mute you too. This is that benefit is going to go to damn Donald Trump's millionaire and billionaire goddamn staff that he hired. That's why he fucking hired them, so they can make more money. They wouldn't be talking about raiding Social Security, getting rid of fucking healthcare, raising the Social Security age. They wouldn't be talking about none of that bullshit if they was going to up there to benefit you with their goddamn tax cuts. None of the revenue that they're going to gather out of this administration is going to go to the lowest people in this goddamn country. It's only going to go to the top 1 goddamn percent. Now, I'm not here to debate Sarge or Mr. Solutions on this, but I am here to raise awareness like I am doing and let y'all know that whenever you hear these fools talking, they done drunk the goddamn Kool-Aid, and they're so goddamn indoctrinated that they got to come out here and spread this bullshit amongst the goddamn universe, and now nobody believe that shit. I hope none of y'all don't believe that. God damn, y'all stupid. But let Elisa on. Wait a minute.
I'm not going to call you stupid.
Wait a minute.
He ain't got no real argument.
Wait a minute. I just gave you the goddamn argument, but let me let Elisa go. Okay, but let me let Elisa go because she just got back on. So go ahead, Elisa.
You don't want to add to that too, Tyrone.
Yeah, my phone cut off. The solution is correct. Corporations are the lifeblood of the country. I do a part of the lifeblood, not all of it, but part of the lifeblood of the country. I don't think anyone on this phone would disagree with that. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. They play a very important role here. They provide jobs. Like you said, they collect taxes, because that's what I do for the corporation. They collect taxes. They do all of that. The only thing that you all are trying to leave out, it has to be done within regulation. So if the corporation, you cut the tax cut, and the rich, they have it on a slider scale. Donald Trump's new tax thing that he's got, I guess they're going to be trying to do once he gets in. They have it on a slider. And actually, Tyrone, you can take that a little bit further down from 400,000 to 200,000, and it's on a sliding scale. and the ones for the 200,000 on, well, actually, you can probably take it a little lower than that. But the more you made, they're going to pay less, 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 less because of the percentage that they're giving them. And everybody up under that is going to be paying more. I paid more taxes under Trump. I remember Sarge, we had this conversation. I paid more taxes under Trump, most people that I do know, under Trump than I ever had when he came in his administration because of that tax slide that they use. The only thing I think people are saying as far as corporations, you give them the tax cuts, and like you were saying, rich people. Someone mentioned rich people, and not all rich people own a corporation. And the only thing is those rich people, so because they don't all own a corporation, and you got them on the slide tax scale, and they're paying much less because the people who's under that, they have the numbers out there. With I think it's $1,600 more a year. Everybody under that tax scale is going to be paying, and we're not even discussing corporate. I'm not even discussing corporations right now. And everybody on the slide up, it's just less and less and less. Then you have those at the top that's going to pay nothing. That's how they have that thing set up. And if the poor people didn't pay taxes, this country would go bust. We know that. So the only thing that people is saying is that they pay their fair share. Don't pay more than you should. Pay your fair share according to your income. Because everybody at the bottom is paying their fair share according to their income.
Zero.
Would you please allow a person? What did you
Sarge, hold on, man. God damn, we let you talk. Okay, well let her talk. Jesus.
I did not. I'll go get the tax
They're
slide.
not paying taxes, income taxes, in the bottom 50%. They don't pay them.
What the fuck you mean?
About?
No, you lying.
The bottom 50% of wage earners do not pay income tax. I didn't say Social Security. I said income.
Okay, look, I didn't say those that's anywhere from like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, whatever that tax, whatever that number is. I'm not talking about
of wage earners are who I'm talking about.
Okay, well, so okay, hold on.
Earn wages.
Sarge, listen, Sarge. You got to let Elisa talk. She's not saying what you just want to argue. We know that if you make a certain level of money, that you get a tax return. So we know that.
I'm not talking about those.
Jesus
people.
Christ, calm down, Sarge.
You know that. That is what you do. You come in here and you just. That's what you do. You disrupt what you
Sarge, well, hold on, Sarge. Let her get it out. Okay, go ahead, Elisa.
Say that. Now, what I said, you're trying to screw the conversation. Nobody's talking about that group that earns or is making whatever it is they're doing, earning $5,000, $7,000. No one, they're not even in the conversation because they don't pay taxes on that. We're not talking about those. We're talking about people who the working poor who earn a salary that is taxed. Can we stay on that? Don't do that, Sarge.
Yeah, we're talking about the people that get taxed. Just to be clear, we're talking about people that get taxed, Sarge. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Let's don't do that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, calm down.
Sarge, the people who I'm talking about, they're still the people who are taxed. They're still the working poor. We're not talking about. Don't do that. Don't turn the whole conversation down onto bottom shelf, which is your level. Let's not do that. We all know who we're talking about, and we also be smart enough to know whom we're talking about. Those who are taxed. I will pull up his sliding tax scale. I'm not talking about those who do not pay taxes. No one is talking about. Don't pay tax. They still pay state tax, but I'm not talking about those. We're talking about those whose income is taxed, the working poor. And if the working poor on that tax slide, and I did not make this up, you're a liar because I will pull it up. You're a liar. This is what you do. You lie. I can pull up his tax scale and read it off to you, what they're planning to do.
So you're going to ignore 50% of wage earners and act like it's of no consequence. You're unbelievable.
Tyrone, see, I can't do this, and I don't know how y'all do this. Joe can go.
God damn you!
You are a liar.
Hell.
All right.
You are. Because what you do is, this is what liars do. You
50% of wage earners pay no goddamn taxes, and yet they file a W-2 form. What the hell's wrong with you?
50%. That's not true. That is not true. You introduce things into the conversation, which is not
49.6%, okay?
I'm not going to do this because you can't have when people don't.
God damn it!
When people come into the conversation and they put in and they're not interested in they are not interested in having an honest conversation. So because that's what you're not interested in doing, I'm going to disengage. I'm not going to do this. This is a waste of time and my live stream, my energy.
Liar because you're wrong.
Sarge, at the end of these 4 years, I want to see where we all are successful people in the Americas. We got rid of all the immigrants, illegal immigrants, and we're living prosperous lives, right? And I want to say this, one last, Sarge, we should have the American dream, not the American scheme. At the end of the 4 years, I want my American dream.
Hey, Tyrone.
Well, real quick, Joe. Let me just share this with the people right here. See, Sarge is repeating a myth. And here's the Brookings website talking about the 47% that don't pay taxes, but like Elisa just said, everybody pays taxes. So whenever you're talking about that 40%,
income taxes.
God damn it! You know what? Never mind. Here, go ahead, Joe. This motherfucker, I can't talk. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I think it's important to note, the minimum wage hasn't gone up in 15 years. And so the average American, working American, hourly wage American has been falling behind. So even if you give them a tax cut, they're still behind the eight ball. It's a spike to the system, but it's not a long-term solution because your wages are not keeping up with price increases. I mean, I don't know how these guys, think that these tax cuts are great things. If your real wages aren't keeping up, with the rise in prices and inflation, then you're falling behind little by little. And that's why a lot of people don't notice it because they're falling behind little by little. Most people work at a job and you get your increase at the end of the year is 3%. But if prices are going up by 7%, then you're still behind. So even if you get a tax cut, so to speak, it's just a small band-aid on a larger problem. It's that real wages are not keeping up with price increases, and they're not in America. This is why you have so many poor people in those red states who keep thinking that if I keep voting Republican, it's going to solve my problems. They're gonna bring Jesus in and all that other stuff. No, they're still gonna be in those trailer parks. They're still gonna be eating ramen noodles and cup of noodles. They're still gonna be shopping at Walmart and all those other places without realizing that they are falling behind slowly. Their towns are dying, and there's nothing that anybody has as a plan to change that. I mean, nobody's come up with a plan. You haven't heard a plan yet from the Republicans about revitalizing, these small towns. Have you? We have malls across the country that are dying, literally dying, empty. Imagine that, a whole mall empty.
What they call ghost malls, there's a documentary online that shows you all the malls across America, middle America, where you said, Joe, that everything was all good just a week ago.
Right. So, you have fast food places that are closing businesses, closing, so, and most of the places that they're being closed are in middle America. So I mean, I don't quite understand this blind devotion to someone who hasn't given you any solutions, but given you tons of rhetoric. When you talk to these people, they say, "Oh, I don't want Obamacare, but don't touch the ACA." They don't even know the difference between the two. Yeah, they don't know the difference between the two. So it's like, this is talk about getting an okie doke pulled on you. Again, you know, you cannot tax cut your way to prosperity. It doesn't work, Mr. Solutions. That is called trickle down, and it hasn't worked since Reagan was in office. It hasn't worked.
And we
right?
still and we still paying for it, Joe. We're still paying for that. That trickle down foolishness. We're still paying for that.
Yeah. Corporations decided to buy back.
Well, may I just jump in?
Hold on, real quick. Look how the airports, added to what Joe said. Look how the airports had to get they slapped in the ass and tell them with all these crazy prices they were charging, these junk fees that they've been getting away with since 9/11. They were crying in 9/11. They lost all this money. Then when everybody started going back, they put up the price because of the demand, made all their money that they lost, made profits, then added on all this crazy shit. They done made so much money, and now they're still crying, and they had to be slapped in the fucking behind to tell them, hey, you guys been taking all this money and crying about y'all need this, y'all need that, and y'all been making a lot of money off of these junk fees, and also the regulations. They're not really regulated. They want to give you a stipend. They don't want to give you your money back. You got to call and argue with a damn machine until you get to a human being, and then they hang up on you. I mean, this is a perfect example of what's going on in the country, that it will continue if this so-called president of yours, the Messiah, doesn't do what he's supposed to.
That's true. Tyrone. Go ahead. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, the okie doke is very clear. And again, there's no plan to support middle class Americans. What's the plan? Please tell me. You can't say, we're just going to give you a tax cut. That's not going to be enough. What's the plan, the Republican plan, to support middle class Americans, or even to move people from the lower class to the middle class? What's the support net that they're putting in place? They don't have one. They don't know how to govern. All they know how to do is to be against whatever the Democrats are doing. But what are their actual programs? Please, somebody tell me, because I don't see it. I don't hear anybody articulating that. I'll be curious to hear it. Go ahead, Charles. Please enlighten me.
So I can say it. I've been trying for the last 20 minutes to say what happens when you cut taxes. We have 4 historical tax cuts.
Whoa. Hold on. Sarge.
And we have a detailed record of what happens after those tax cuts were implemented.
Sarge, slow down a second. I didn't ask for what happens when you do it. Sarge, listen. Hold on a second. I asked, what's the economic plan? Not to explain to me what happens when you do a tax cut. What's the overall economic plan?
Let me say it in one sentence. All I need is one sentence. The economic plan for economic prosperity for the most of the country is GDP growth and lower unemployment. Now, that one sentence, that is the primary method of increasing prosperity for everybody. Low unemployment and GDP growth. Now, let's look at what happened to both of those factors during the 4 federal governmental tax cuts in the 20th and 21st century. I'm not even going to talk about Trump. I'm just going to talk about Warren Harding, Calvin Coolidge, John F. Kennedy, and Ronald Reagan. We can look at the numbers and we know. We don't have to speculate or conjecture. Would you like to do that?
No.
Hey, hold on for a minute. Let me just say this right here, right quick. Hold on, Sarge. Sarge, let me say this right here, Joe. GDP growth is not an answer to your question. And the reason that I'm saying that is because you got to be specifics with what factories you're going to open up, what services you... Okay, hold on. See, this is what I know you don't like what I hear, but you just can't say generically GDP fucking growth without telling us what goods and services you're planning on fucking providing or creating. you just can't say that that's going to grow the goddamn economy. Of course it will, hypothetically, if it goes up. But you ain't telling us what the fuck this administration is going to do to put boots to goddamn ground, create products, create services in this goddamn country. Now compare that to what Harris was talking about with affordable housing and all this kind of fucking CHIPS and Science Act and whatever the fuck they were talking about. You don't have a plan like that. That's what Joe is saying. There is no way to govern on the goddamn Republican side. You guys don't have it.
Jill, baby Jill.
Good Lord.
Tyrone, can I tell you
I'm
something?
telling you what the plan is. Fuck it. Just echo chamber yourself to death. Motherfucker this. Good night.
Tyrone.
What's up?
Let me just tell you, he didn't allow me to finish saying what I was trying to say. Yes, the top earners pay at least almost 50% of the federal income taxes in the country, but all of those top earners are in that sliding. You have to know how the sliding goes. The other part that has to be paid is broken down into different percentages. And when I was saying the working poor and those that are, it's broken down that pays the other percent of the federal income taxes. If that's gone, the country goes bust. It doesn't matter how much the top earners are paying. And like you brought up the Brookings Institute, I'm not going to. I could get into all of that, but I'm not going to. Sarge will throw in what do you call it? A monkey wrench into everything. Yes, no what? And see, that's what he does to try to trick you up because he doesn't know what he's talking about. And when people who do that, they lie. They lie. Yes, the top earners pay a certain percentage. They pay damn near half. But if that other half how it's broken down amongst the working poor, middle class, and this, that, if that's not paid, the country goes bust. That's just common sense. You can't just rely giving it all to them, and then what they pay, it's not going to work. And just like you always say, you can't tax cut your way into solvency. You cannot do that. And then when people come in and throw a monkey wrench into all of this, and a lot of what he was spewing, you're absolutely right. They're spewing this. It's like when we got all when the country. I was a child, but when the country got all caught up in that trickle down economics from Reaganomics foolishness, that's that stuff that they fooled the people with. That SARS was spewing when I was trying to speak, and when he was like, we can go back to whatever president he just said. He's going to spew that again. And then you have to go in and research that stuff to be able to, and y'all can try to do it. But when people come on here and spread misinformation and disinformation and disrupt when other people are talking, that's the goal. That is the goal, not to give you a chance to finish. That's why I called him a liar. Because we all should be smart enough to be able to discuss that like the rest of us is doing, but our people throwing in monkey wrenches. Yes, the country will go bust if the people in the bottom have the percentage that they're supposed to pay. If they don't pay it, they have to pay. Everybody that's taxed, they have to pay their share, and that's the whole point. And then he come in with a monkey wrench and get to messing it up, and then throw you off. I don't know how y'all do this conversation.
Well,
in the moment I don't know how y'all do this.
Well, like hold on, Sarge. Hold on, Sarge. Hold on, listen. Like he was complaining about
the conversation, but not the insults.
Okay, well, hold on for a second.
You bad?
Hold on for a second. Let me insert this. Let me insert this to try to debunk something that's being said about who don't pay taxes, right? And Sarge was talking about the lower 50% don't pay taxes or whatever. But think about this. We've got reports of
income taxes.
Okay, shut up. We've got reports, and we know that Jeff Bezos, one of the richest men in the country, don't pay taxes. We know Donald Trump did not pay taxes. We know that Elon Musk don't pay taxes. Now, these are the richest people in America, and they're not paying goddamn taxes. So if you're upset about the lower income not paying taxes, why the fuck ain't you upset about them using their money to manipulate the system to get out of and avoid paying goddamn taxes? And I don't want to hear about that bullshit, but avoiding taxes is not illegal and all that kind of bullshit. But they're not paying their fair share is the point. Good Lord.
Well, let me comment on that, if I may.
Go ahead.
The problem here is you guys are seeing this totally wrong. Number one, the government is not collecting taxes for legitimate needs anyway. It's collecting taxes, number one, to keep most people poor. And the biggest tax of all is inflation. But the money that they take from people who can't avoid taxes, they send it everywhere. They send it to other countries. And that's just like Jay last time, and this was with the legal system, but he admitted that the legal system was corrupt. Yet he was saying that a person who was able to fight the legal system and get away and get out of being prosecuted, he was saying they got away with something. They didn't get away with a damn thing because the system is corrupt. So you don't get away with doing something from a corrupt system. What you guys aren't understanding, unfortunately, and some good points are being made, but the money that is collected isn't used for the purpose that you guys think it's being used for. The government can print money, so it's no cost to them. And then there's what's called seigniorage. In other words, the government makes money on the money that they print. So that the bottom line is we have a really, really, really corrupt system. They're stealing money from people who can't. They're stealing money from people who really can't fight back. And the people that are wealthy, I just pointed out earlier, if anybody was listening, that the tax system is an adversarial system. Wealthy people write the tax laws. They're not going to pay a whole lot of money. So the government is corrupt in that it uses a dagger or a threat to take money away from the people who can't defend themselves. And that's the real problem. And if you look at the usdebtclock.org, you'll see that they're spending money like it's nobody's business. They're printing money and just throwing it away. I heard that Obama gave, I believe it was Iran, so many billions of dollars, like thousands of pounds of money they loaded onto a cargo plane and shipped it to another freaking country. So I mean,
600,000 grains of rice spent on illegal aliens.
See, this is what I'm talking about here. Obama has been out of office for 8 goddamn years. 8 motherfucking years.
Oh my God.
Jesus, it's Obama. Jesus Christ.
I'm just using an example of how money is wasted.
Obama gave them their
600,000
money.
grains of rice going to Ukraine.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk about rights in a second, but Obama gave them back their money. He didn't give us our money.
Yeah.
He didn't give them our money. He gave them their money. It was their money.
Their money.
You gotta pay your debt.
Because
What
it
we
was
talk about
frozen.
here, sorry, hold on. We always talk about paying our debt, and we gotta pay our debts, right? Mr. Solutions, the self-proclaimed.
That's what financed. That's what financed the wars over there. No, but I just used that example of them shipping money out of the country. That's
But
all.
you lied.
We should
You lied.
pay our bills, right? We should. Let's be clear, Sarge. You pay your debts, right, Sarge? We should pay our debts as Americans, as the country, government, if we owe money, right? Is that right?
I don't know that was a just debt.
I'm asking
but
in general. Right? You want to look at it and paint.
Listen, you're the one that's always bitching. Don't ship money to Americans like.
Hold on. I'm just asking clearly. Should we pay our debt? Should you pay your debts, Mr. Solution?
Listen a minute. They don't ship money to Americans.
The law must be enforced, but when the law is fucked up, it ought to be repealed. It's
Hold on. I'm gonna give you in your damn rights, but Obama
They
just
owe us more money than they owe other countries, and they don't pay. They don't pay the American citizens.
Let Joe tell you about that Iran money, because you got it wrong, Mr. Solutions. Good Lord.
It was Iran's money. It was their money. It was frozen. It was sanctions. Due to sanctions, he just
and they don't
unfroze
pay
it.
us back. They
It
don't pay
wasn't our
Americans
money.
back.
It wasn't our money.
Get a straight answer from an IRS agent or some aspect of the Byzantine tax code. Even they don't know what the fuck it means half the time.
Yeah, okay, but let's talk about your rights situations for a second, Sarge. Do you know why they did rights?
If you listen to you guys, you don't make any fucking sense. Why don't you be for them loading up a plane and shipping it to the various states in the United States?
Yeah,
Why don't they do that?
Yeah. Number one, that's how foreign aid works. Yeah. That's how foreign aid works. Yeah.
Joe, can I say this to you? I didn't think you didn't stress that enough about that $150 billion given to Iran. Mr. Solution, you're telling us that we don't know what we're talking about, and you came on here and you repeated that foolishness that Obama gave Iran $150 million.
Thank you.
That's not true.
Yeah, because he's an idiot. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He just say anything.
How much did they give them?
It wasn't our money, you fucking moron. It was not our money.
How much did they ship?
It was their money, you idiot.
Right.
It was their money.
Obama didn't even know it. It was the country. It was the presidents before that. Whoever president, they had to pay that. It was lingering over their head. He said, "Let's take care of this shit now, because we need."
It was their money.
Shit. Come on, man.
He was just using it as leverage.
They don't ship Americans money. Why aren't you up in arms about that?
Nigga, you wrong. You wrong, Mr. Solution. Just
listen. I don't care if you are broke because you argue against your own best interest.
well, just say you was wrong, Mr. Solutions. Mr. Solutions. Mr. Solution, just say you was wrong, Mr. Solution. Just say you was wrong. Just say you was wrong, Mr. Solution. We can move on.
I wasn't wrong. Listen, they owe Americans money. Why don't they load up planes and send it to every state capital so that Americans can get the money?
But you lied on. You just lied on President Obama. You just told a fucking lie. Jesus.
You're a jackass. You don't know what.
I know it stings. I know it hurts. But you got to take the fact.
In other words, just yelling out something. How did I lie? What did I lie about?
You just told me.
Okay.
What did I lie about?
I'll say this. If Iran owes America money, I want us to get it. But what does Iran owe America?
Because there's been sanctions placed against them by Jimmy fucking Carter. That's why. That
ain't what I asked. If Iran owes America some money,
that's because sanctions were voted in by Congress.
I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking to Mr. Solution. You said that
why did we owe them money?
The reason or not?
Why do we owe them money, Elisa?
Mr. Solution, was the reason I gave the reason or not? We voted sanctions against Iran, and that's why their assets were frozen in the United States. Did we owe them money?
There you go.
That's what I just
said. So Sarge just told you a lie too.
Maybe he'll take it from Sarge. Sarge told the truth. Yeah. There you go.
I can tell you this: foreign countries get better tax breaks than Americans do.
No, you ain't gonna move past this. You got to say you was wrong and lied on this show, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know, right? But let's talk about Sarge's rights situation for a second, because this is right in my wheelhouse. Yeah, this is right in my wheelhouse.
The ones that are broke.
Yeah. Do you know why we set rights to Ukraine for?
You can advocate for other countries, but
I know why. I'll be happy to tell you the whole history of those sanctions and why those assets were frozen.
No. I'm saying, do you know why we sent rights to Ukraine? Is the question.
You know why? Why we sent what?
I'm sorry, this banging on my side. Yeah, you had mentioned that they sent a bunch of rice to Ukraine, and my question is, do you know why?
No, I said that 300,000 grains of rice that we sent to Ukraine. I'm using that rice analogy.
Yeah, but do you know why it was rice?
Yeah, I know why, because we're trying to perpetuate a war with them against Russia. We're trying to keep them in the fight.
No, nope, that is not the reason why. Okay, the reason why is because
they were a grain producer before the war.
Yes, the U.S. produces more corn, more wheat, and more rice than any other country. We can't eat it all. And as a result, we subsidize those farmers. We subsidize the farmers to grow it. So in order to keep them from having tons of rice that spoils, we send it around the world. All right? We export more corn to Mexico than Mexico can afford to grow. We export more milk to Canada than Canada can produce. So this is one of the crops that we produce in abundance that we basically have to get rid of. This is why America sends rice to most of the disaster relief funds. You always see bags of rice and you always see milk. You ever wonder why? Because we produce so much of it, and America pays farmers to produce it. It's called farm subsidies. That's why, Sarge.
Yeah, we got a problem with that too. But look, I was speaking of the current expenditure for Ukraine since February of 2022. That is going for military expenditures for Ukraine primarily, and for the salaries of Ukrainian bureaucrats and government officials, amongst others.
Yeah. But what I'm saying to you is, you mentioned rice in specifics, and I said to
I
you,
mentioned rice because earlier in the show you might have missed it. There was a guy on some Marxist who was trying to show, using an analogy of 1 grain of rice representing $200,000, how much money Elon Musk other oligarchs had.
Yeah, I didn't hear it, but I'm just saying. Overall,
analogy of rice to show how much we're paying for illegal aliens in Ukraine. That's to the tune of 600,000 grains of rice since 2022 alone.
What do you call that man a Marxist?
Overall, it's just that America produces this stuff. This is why it's stupid to talk about tariffs. Because if they put a tariff, let's say they put a tariff on corn, all right? Now Mexico says, wait a minute, hold on. It's cheaper for us to produce corn in our country than it is to take your corn. Now America's stuck with all this damn corn that we don't use. What are you going to do with it? You're still paying the subsidy to the farmers, and they're not getting paid for any other country to take it. So what happens? It becomes a situation like it was in the 70s when the milk subsidy went in, where farmers were literally dumping milk. Remember, before they did the milk program in schools? Remember this? Because you're old enough to remember. Farmers were literally dumping milk because they had nowhere to sell it.
Right.
Nowhere to sell it.
But tariffs can be used strategically, and I do say that with caution. They can be used strategically when certain countries, exporting countries, are misusing another country. For example, with Canada. Canada basically has 100% tariffs, from what I understand, on American dairy products. You don't see our products in their market, but they flood our market. Something like 70% of their exports are sold to the U.S. And similarly with Mexico. So Mexico, we have the larger market. They need us. They need to trade with us. They can't afford most of the products that they produce.
That's not true. They need
true. That's why
again. I would suggest. And then what happened after that?
That's why.
That was early. That was early on. Trudeau basically said, "Fuck you."
And he was down there to Mar-a-Lago trying to make peace with Trump because he couldn't stand a 25%.
That's history, brother. You need to come into the present. Because Trudeau basically had to appeal to his provincial leaders who basically said, fuck Trump. Fuck around and find out. Have you been keeping up with this?
Okay, so.
Have you been keeping up with this? Because I have.
So I've been keeping up with it. He was at Mar-a-Lago less than 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and basically he's under pressure from his people not to give in to Trump. His people are basically saying, fuck around and find out.
Let me ask you this one question. Does Canada need the American market to export to?
Well, they need each other, man.
America needs the market from Canada.
They need each other, Mr. Solutions.
It's a symbiotic relationship, brother.
They need each other.
Need the American market.
They need each other.
They both do.
Okay, no, not to the same extent. No.
Absolutely, they do. 100%.
How about Mexico? Does
understand how
Mexico need the American market?
You crazy. This
they
guy is
both
nuts.
do.
This guy is nuts.
Let me ask you a question.
No, listen. You see how crazy he sounds? Listen to what I'm saying, guys. The trade agreement in North America has existed for I don't know how long, right? But because Donald Trump and his politics exist, you got this fool asking, do the United States need to trade in North America between Mexico and China? You shut the fuck up. You're an idiot. You are a fucking idiot. This country, North America, has been trading between Canada and Mexico forever, and because you think fucking goddamn Haitians are eating dogs, now we don't need to trade with Mexico and Canada. You sound like a goddamn fool. Good Lord.
The fool? You're the asshole. I don't see you looking for another country to live in, son of a bitch.
Let me ask you a financial question, right? If every developed country decides to disconnect from the U.S.,
Jesus Christ, this guy is crazy.
Man, in blackface, you motherfucker. You earn about $200,000 a year.
Oh my goodness.
Money and benefits.
What's the solution?
Do we need Canada? Do we need Canada? Do we need Mexico? Shut the fuck up. God damn.
It's an important question you or Ms. Sarge could answer. Again, if every developed country decides to disconnect from the U.S. and say, you know what, we're going to put up prices. We're not even going to buy shit from y'all. We're exporting everything expensive. We're doing business with other countries.
Have no market, Jay. Let me just ask, they would have no market.
No, what we have.
Ain't nobody going to disengage from the United States economy.
I'm asking, hold on, listen carefully.
Why are we even having this conversation? This is stupid.
Hold on. They say, all these developed countries say, you know what, I'm going to buy my products from another country, Russia, all the other countries, right? They work together.
So they want to
say,
sell them to us.
And hold on. No, we're gonna sell it to you, but at a high price, including China. What happens then? What happens?
They're going to
why hasn't it happened?
Because they need our economy more than we need their products.
That's not true. What is wrong with y'all?
You know what? Listen.
These motherfuckers are sick. Listen.
For your argument, let's say that is for now.
They stupid.
Hold on. These countries are actually developing. There's more countries that's building up infrastructure, and they're getting, they're becoming cities, and they have people paying into the economy. My point is, as those countries grow and they supply stuff and they start trading off, and they say, you know what, U.S. is too big for their bridges, and we're going to work with these guys because they're giving us a better price, and we could sell them stuff. Now, America, yeah, we'll sell you shit, but now we're going to sell you shit at a higher price, and they all unify and do that. What happens to the U.S. is my question. Don't say that they're not going to do that. I'm saying if it happens, what happens?
You got a good point, Jay. You got a good point.
Okay, let me
respond to it. I'd like to respond to your point. Your point is well taken. Now let me explain. That is precisely why Trump and others want to prevent that scenario you just posed from happening by increasing America's industrial output so that doesn't occur.
Okay, so let me hold on for a second. Let me see who.
The way we are doing, then your scenario will come to pass.
All right, so hold on for a second. Okay, y'all gonna have to listen to what the fuck I say. I'm trying to answer the goddamn board, so shut the hell up. Who's this unknown caller?
Big J here.
Okay, Big J. Before you go, let me say this right here. The world has been in a global goddamn economy since I don't know the fucking 1800s, and all of a sudden, these motherfuckers on the phone are trying to question the way the global economic system has been working since time and fucking memoriam because Trump say that they eat dogs and fucking cats. Okay, shut up. Let Elisa go and then Jay. Go, Jay.
You just made a dumbass statement.
Shut up. Go ahead, Elisa. Go ahead, Elisa, and then Big J.
Real quick, because I didn't want to get too far away. You mentioned Haiti, and we were talking about rice. Bill Clinton, Democratic president, destroyed their whole production of rice and how they were selling to help support their country for U.S. gain. I'm not going to get into that, but I just wanted to mention that. Oh, and Jay from New York, you asked, what if these other countries would decide? Well, China and Russia and them, they're getting up their own black success to start making deals with countries. Have y'all not been following that? Have y'all not been following that? They're doing just that right now. It's not Brexit, but BRICS, there you go.
Right.
They're doing their own thing right now. They're getting it going. And then we got a fool in the White House. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, Big J, what's happening, man?
Okay,
Wait, I just introduced Big J. Can Big J talk? Can Big J talk?
It is true.
BRICS
It is
by
true.
telling them it was going to be 100% tariff if they tried to create a new currency.
Shut up. You don't
support an existing currency.
You don't know how to spell tariff. Shut up. You don't know how to spell tariff. Go ahead, Big J.
Shut up, bitch. You little short stinking bastard.
Okay, and I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna ask a series of hypothetical answers. So I want nobody to answer what I'm about to ask. Do we have a housing market issue? A housing market issue? Yes, we do. What do houses are particularly made of? Wood. So
I know where you're getting at.
So if you're going to put a tariff on lumber, because wood comes from lumber, most of your American lumber, American wood that goes into American houses come from where? Oh, Canada. So why would you put a 25 to 35% tariff on Canada when there's a housing market problem in the United States? It makes no sense to ask for a tariff on Canadian products, especially lumber, when America uses Canadian lumber versus lumber in Canada versus that in Washington and Oregon. I wish y'all stopped it. Then on top of that, we need 23% tariffs on Mexico. Do you know what goes? I don't know about y'all. There is a railroad that crosses the border all the time. That oil comes from the Pacific coast of Mexico up until Texas. If y'all don't sit to understand that tariff was actually destroyed the oil market in the southwest region of the United States, I want to tell y'all. And then on top of that, do you know how many people who in the agriculture sector? I know a lot of people live in the inner city. Y'all live in the suburbs. Y'all don't know shit about the agriculture sector. How many people? Even if you get migrants picking the crops or not, the market is still going to be affected by the tariffs in that sector too. So I don't know why y'all are cheerleading the tariff part that Donald Trump is proposing. I don't understand that. It's like if you know about taxes, hold on. Some of y'all on here talk about taxes all the time. When we paying high taxes, we real tax rate. Tariffs are taxes too. So how can y'all be conservative talking about we need a lower income tax rate while at the same time you are increasing tariffs? It's still going to be ass out.
Proposal is only a threat to get Canada and Mexico to crack down on human smuggling and drug smuggling across their borders. He didn't say for sure he was going to do it.
And Tyrone,
you are a
fool.
This boy is a fool.
Piggyback off something Big J just said.
Well, Sarge is a fool if he believes what he just said.
Also, the American.
That's what he said. Man, you keep up with the news.
What are you talking about? I said I wanted to piggyback on something he said. What are you doing?
I heard him in the back of Sarge is a fool. Like what I just said is wrong. It's not.
I'm sorry.
That's the reason he
I'm sorry.
to impose the 25% tariff.
Okay, I'm sorry that he called you a fool. Let me piggyback on something Big J said. Also, the American automotive industry. A lot of their car parts are made where? Say it, Big J. Mexico.
Yes, Mexico and Canada.
Thank you.
particularly Mexico.
Particularly Mexico. Some are made here, but that's going to really hurt the automotive industry. Thank you, Big J. I just want to piggyback.
Right.
And
It's like
the Prime Minister of Canada resigned as a result of the turmoil that Trump's threatened tariffs have caused in Canada. So it's already
That's what I
affecting
just
them.
said. That's what I just said, because the provinces have basically told Trump, fuck around and find out. They were like, don't capitulate to this dude. See, that's why I'm looking at Mr. Solutions. You thought the Prime Minister of Canada went down to Mar-a-Lago. Look, he was under pressure from his people. He basically said, we ain't putting up with this. And the provinces run Canada, not the Prime Minister. And even more than that, once they put NAFTA in place, you could forget all of this. Do you understand how NAFTA has affected trade? Do you get it? Apparently not. Apparently you guys don't understand that. Maybe Sarge might, but NAFTA meant free trade across the Americas here. And that means that at one time, we produced cars here, we produced a separate set of cars in Canada and a separate set of cars in Mexico. Now, we produce cars in one place and the parts are shipped in. It changed everything about the way American industry works. So in order to put tariffs in place, you would have to violate NAFTA, and that ain't gonna happen.
And also, Tyrone, I want to piggyback off something.
All they got to do is control their borders. They don't have to do anything that's going to cost them a lot of money.
And Tyrone, I want to piggyback off something else. Piggyback with Big J also again. Canada is a major supplier of energy to the United States, supplying oil, natural gas, electricity, and uranium. And some of their people already say, excuse my language, F around and find out we will cut the energy off, and that's going to affect certain states. Thank you, Big J, for bringing this up. I just want to piggyback again.
Right. I don't understand why it's so hard for people to understand how tariffs work. Like the tariffs that President Hoover did in 1920, the early 1930s. That helped brought about the rise of Hitler in Germany. And the rise of fascism. Right. When you do tariffs, it starts international tension. I don't understand why people don't have the foresight to see, okay, usually countries that trade together normally don't go. I'm saying a better way. Countries that trade together most likely don't go to war.
Yeah, that's true. But all he's doing is threatening tariffs. No tariffs have been put in place as of yet.
They don't know that.
But to those okay, then, Mr. Solutions.
I take that back. There were tariffs put in place by Trump, and they were left in place by the Biden administration.
That's right. Absolutely.
But we're talking about the latest tariffs that he has threatened, and like Sarge just said,
the solution.
Like Sarge just said,
in their shoes.
Like Sarge just said, he just told Canada to tighten up your border with the fentanyl and the illegal traffic coming into the U.S. And that's the same thing he told Mexico.
And what was
Canada's
response to that?
They're going to do it.
What was Canada's response to that?
Well, that would cause them more pain than them getting
No.
If they got any sense, they ought to do it. It's not going to cost them as much
Canada made a response to that.
as it will to take
Apparently
these
you don't
tariffs.
know.
They got to be stupid not to tighten up their border.
You know what stupid
Canada
is?
and Mexico made a response to that. Big J probably knows. And Trump, and Sarge know. You don't know, Mr. Solution, what their specific response was?
Well, both of these.
Tell us, what is it?
No. You brought this up. I'm asking you. Do you know?
But both of these men on here were talking about Donald Trump just playing Now, this is the president of the United States is going to be the president of the United, and you're telling me that we can't take him at his goddamn word. The man said that he was going to try to enact tariffs. Why the fuck wouldn't you believe that?
They didn't tighten up their borders. Will you say the whole goddamn thing?
They ain't gonna tighten up shit.
Down to understand it, Tyrone. It was a conditional tariff. If you don't do this, then
Okay, Sarge. Okay, Sarge. Here's the thing, Sarge. Put yourself in their shoes, right? You fail to put yourself in their shoes. Is some country that is bigger than yours is richer than yours is opposing tariffs on you? You're going to say you're not going to look at that as a threat. You look at that as, oh, that is reality. You look at that as reality at this point. So that's why you see an uptick in rising of prices. Now I understand after the election, the prices of goods, the prices of stocks went up. Things went up. Prices of cars went down. Right. Ever since he did all that tariff shit, the stock market went down. The price of goods went right on back up. So I don't know why y'all not putting yourself in the shoes on the other side and see the perspective of the Canadians and the Mexicans.
Well, that also, Big Jake, that also had to do with manipulation of the interest rates.
But I do see it, Big Jake. Not as though we're asking Canada to give up any aspect of its sovereignty. We're asking to increase their sovereignty. It's not like Austria-Hungary demanding Serbia give up their sovereignty and investigate the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. They said, tighten up your borders so people do not infiltrate across yours into ours and cause hundreds of thousands
of people hard to get up into Canada. I'm asking you. Hold on.
I'm give up any aspect of their sovereignty. Trade deals are always mutually agreeable, absent a threat of military force.
Wait a minute. Hold on for a second.
Hard to get up in Canada anyway.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Let me say this right here. See, Sarge just lied again. He just said that they didn't ask for them to give up any sovereignty. This nigga literally called Canada. He literally called Canada a state. He called Trudeau a governor. What do you mean?
You ought to ask to become a state. That's what he said.
He called that man a governor.
You know what English is. You really don't understand English words.
He got a picture on Truth. Nigga, he got a picture on Truth Social of him conquering Canada. He literally got that on his damn social media website. What you mean he didn't ask them to give up no goddamn sovereignty? And now he's talking about taking fucking Panama. What the fuck you talking about?
United States to become a 51st state. That's what he said.
They ain't that giving up sovereignty, you idiot?
Yes. Both Canada and Mexico has basically said to the U.S., hey, look, you fix your gun problem. In fact, Mexico is suing American gun dealers because their guns are ending up in Mexican cartels. Mexico has basically said, hey, wait a minute. You want me to fix this? The president of Mexico said, no, you fix your shit first. You guys use drugs. If you didn't use drugs, there'd be no market for drugs. I'd advise you, Mr. Solutions, to really stay up on this stuff because they're not taking the bullshit from Trump. They already seen Trump 1.0. They already know what to do with Trump 1.0. And one of them is they ain't taking his shit. And beyond all that, I think you guys really need to understand, the world has basically seen Trump 1.0 already. And they're ready for Trump 2.0.
I don't agree with you on that. I think you're completely wrong, and I think
read
history will
the
show
letter.
you that way.
Read the letter
About the
that the
illegal
president of Mexico. Hold on. Read the letter that the president of Mexico sent. Because it's very clear.
I heard you. Okay, I got what you're saying. I
You said
understand
you don't believe me. Believe her.
Illegal alien that set the person on fire in New York in
I
the
knew you
subway.
were going to go there. I knew you were going to go there. What about that,
Answer it.
What about it?
Okay, are you going to gaslight on that? What do you think about that? That goes to Trump telling Mexico and Canada to tighten up your borders so we don't have that kind of carnage.
Wait, hold on, time out. Hold on. So I got two things to say. Would it make you feel better that it was an American that set that poor woman on fire? Would it be better if that was some other American?
First of all, let me answer that. Let me no. And secondly,
why use that? Well, then why use that as a linchpin?
Okay, I'm answering you. Hold on a minute. I'm giving you an answer. First of all, I am most offended when someone commits a crime against an American who shouldn't be here. And to answer your first question, I think that's a ridiculous question.
No, it's not.
No, I don't want anybody to violate an American. And especially...
Wait, hold on. Time out. I want y'all to notice something, because I'm about to go here with this. Mr. Solutions is more concerned about someone who's not an American. He said any American who's violated by a non-American is bad. But then though you got a white man who choked out a black man in the same place, yet same people
you're changing the goalpost.
No, he using the same analogy. He using the same example. He right.
Right. I'm using the same example as you. I'm using the same example as you. And y'all don't like
to you.
No. I'm using the same example as you. No, I'm using the same example as you. I'm using the same example as you. You don't like it. That's why I have a problem with black listening.
You're not listening.
No. I am listening. I am listening. That's why I have a problem with.
I'm saying it is horrific for anybody to do that, and it is even more horrific when a person does it that shouldn't be here. Amen.
See that? Wait a minute. See that? Well, guess what though? That young blood that was so choked out. Wait. Hold on.
Guess what? To an existing charge. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything complicated.
See what y'all just did? You see what y'all just did?
That's called moving the goalposts. Moving the goalposts.
I mean that. I mean, it's twice as bad when it's
the more equivalent argument. See, hold on. They want you to be moral, right? But then when you bring up the other issue that happened in the same place, the same city, the same subway.
Yeah, it's worse when an illegal alien does it. I'm not sorry. I'm not changing my mind on that one. They shouldn't be here to do it.
Well,
then guess what?
Okay.
Well, hold on.
Involuntarily deport an American citizen, no matter what they do, even if they commit treason.
Therefore, Sarge.
Hey, let me give you a simple example.
I'm talking to Sarge right now. So Sarge,
go ahead.
Then by that logic, Sarge, you shouldn't support the military industrial complex that disrupted every one of these Latin American countries' economies that helped bring these illegals across that southern border.
I don't support those that did it, and the current situation is not caused by that.
Yes, it is.
Nicaragua is not affected by Reagan's funding the Contras anymore.
Oh my God! Do you know? Okay. Have you been following the last 15, 20 years of we sending CIA and NSA agents down there? Now, hold on. Listen.
What have I missed?
Okay. Let's bring it recently, right? Let's bring it recently. What happened in Venezuela in 2019? Was it 2019, 18, something like that? Oh, CIA trying to knock down Manuno. Guess what happened? I live on the border, right? Or I live close, a few hours from the border. I don't see Mexicans. I can tell the difference between a Mexican and Colombian and a Venezuelan across the border. I can tell the difference between a Venezuelan and a Mexican. Those not Mexicans cross that damn border.
Okay.
Every time we see the CIA and the NSA in those countries, you see those people appearing crossing the border. No, the industrial complex.
So you're saying Joe Biden's all of you come if you want to come has nothing whatsoever to do with it. You can't go and
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this again. Did I just say the last 20 years? So when I say the last 20 years, don't just think I'm just talking about Joe Biden, Trump, Bush, Obama, Clinton,
amped up enormously,
and so forth. So I want to hear this partisan rhetoric, that partisan right-wing rhetoric you try to do. I'm cutting on both ends. I'm burning candles on both ends. But you don't sit there and see that.
The fact of the matter is it ramped up exponentially under Biden because he unsecured the border.
That's a lie.
No, he didn't. That's a lie.
He reversed Trump's Spain and Mexico policy, and he created a massive parole system.
All you know,
anybody with a half-baked story about asylum to come into the country on parole.
All you know is talking points. That's all the fuck he's saying. Go ahead, Elisa.
You see how they ignore the backup that Trump caused at the border.
Yeah.
Big J, I can tell the difference between them as well. I live in Maryland, and we have a sanctuary city. I can tell the difference between the ones from Salvador. No, I'm not a racial expert. I can tell the difference between them. I can tell the difference between the Salvadorians, the Guatemalans, the Nicaraguans. You can tell the difference between them when you live, well, I don't live amongst them, but we have a sanctuary city. You can tell the difference between who is who. You really can. You can tell the difference between them. No, because I work with a lot of different people from those countries. I can tell the difference. No, yes, you can.
Looking at the physiognomy, you can tell.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can tell. If you've been among them, hold on. If you've been among them, you can tell the difference.
That shit that Sarge saying. That shit that Sarge saying.
You gonna tell the difference.
That shit that Sarge saying is xenophobic and racist because he talking about he can't. Shut up. He's saying that he can't. That shit that Sarge saying is xenophobic and racist because he talking about he can't tell the difference between a group of people.
Reality like nobody I've ever seen in my life.
So you can't.
And guess what? Their dialect is different as well. You can't tell the difference.
You heard their accents and heard them speak, but you can tell to me is so different.
This dude is a racist.
Okay.
I can tell the difference between
Sarge is a racist.
Another thing, how the
okay, whatever.
Okay, but you can also tell the difference by the food that they eat. Colombian food is different than Mexican food.
Added something there that has some merit, but that's not what I heard before.
You can tell the difference between people, you idiot.
It's all of that.
You can. It's all of that. You can tell. You can tell the difference if you are among them. You can tell the difference on how they dress, their dialect, their accent. You can tell the difference.
Now I might agree with you, but you didn't say that.
You can tell.
I just did.
It don't need to be said, Sarge. They different people. Why the fuck somebody got to explain to you?
mentioned a physiognomy, and you did not not respond to it.
You just being racist.
They did. We did.
We
Yeah,
can
I'll tell you
tell
what,
that. Yeah, we can tell
Yeah.
the difference. I can spot Guatemalan from the difference from someone from El Salvador, especially the Nicaraguans. You can tell the difference. I work where I work is right up near the sanctuary city. So I see these people, I see the differences in them. And the Mexicans, you don't see a lot of them. We don't hardly see them. We have some, but you don't see a lot of them. But you know the differences. Just like we could tell the difference in New York between the Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans and the black people. You can tell these things. I work near right there, smack dab. I work smack dab right there in
But yours is
on the board. No, you just no. I work right smack dab in Denver.
Clarification. I didn't get it.
We gave you clarification. We can tell the difference. You want everybody to point out. No, just saying we can tell the difference. But you trying to stretch the goalpost down. Well, we didn't tell you that.
He said accent. He said the food
No,
they eat and the clothes they
you
wear.
called us xenophobic because we said we can tell the
I
difference.
didn't call anybody
Don't try to
xenophobic.
don't try to change.
Call me xenophobic.
Don't try to change.
Anybody xenophobic.
Yeah. To borrow a slogan from the Vietnam era, no Venezuelan has ever called me nigger.
There you go.
It is amazing though. It seems to me some people are listening to respond or not listening to understand. Now, we just already sit there and said it about 3-4 times already how we can tell the difference. If you've been among these people, you're gonna look at the differences.
You just know.
If you've been among them, you're gonna see the differences. It's not that hard.
It's not.
Yes, you gave
The
a
food
metric.
they eat,
You gave a metric.
how they dress, the dialect.
You mentioned their clothing and you mentioned their food.
And
Okay, Sarge. If you got dropped in Vietnam, you've been in Vietnam, right? According to your story. Okay, if you've been dropped in Southeast Asia, and you were somewhere among the border between Laos and Vietnam, and somewhere in Indochina somewhere, you won't know the difference between somebody who's from Laos and somebody who's Vietnamese.
Different than the South Vietnamese, or the Nung dressed and ate differently than the South Vietnamese. So yes, I could tell the difference. And the North Vietnamese.
Well then. Then how come?
By which I could tell the difference, other than the
We just gave you the metrics. We just gave you the metrics.
I said then I understand that, Jay, but previously to that you had not given them to me.
If we said we've been among them, then therefore it should be already implied on what the fuck we're talking about. That's why I kept on saying those are not Mexicans crossing the border.
You saying none
because
of them?
Because me being in Texas, Texas is what? Is a Hispanic state.
Okay, you
South Texas is Hispanic. You see nothing but Mexicans all the time.
All right,
me being in Texas, you see Mexicans all the time.
Are you saying none of them are Mexicans? Most of them are not Mexicans, or all of them are
He didn't say that. He didn't say that.
No, we're not. No one's saying that. No one's saying that.
That's why I'm asking.
Okay, listen, guys.
No one's saying that.
Listen, I got to get out of here, so I'm going to open the lines and YouTube. Y'all call in, talk to Sarge and Big J and Mr. Solutions. Appreciate it, Elisa and everybody that called in tonight.
Q&A session is over. All participants are unmuted.
To go as well, and let me tell you this: Guatemalans, I can just about spot them because I say this. They're shorter. They're shorter than the ones in Salvador. The the Nicaraguans, they have a certain kind of a not really distinctive look, but they're larger, they're taller. They're just it's just you should